Hey, everybody, and welcome. My voice is breaking. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 125 for the middle of May. I am your host, Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Dave.
Hello.
And on my right by Neil.
Hello.
And Pilch is tied up for tonight, so we will not have him join us. I believe he's having a Eurovision party or something similar.
Sado.
Oh, God, I can't think of anything worse.
Brilliant. Yeah, I don't get it. I put I was asking you guys about getting a feed for it, and maybe my wife wanted to watch it, and I think Pilch said it was on YouTube. I turned it on while I was eating my dinner. Some Polish guy singing something or other. I was like, I've never got this. I've never understood it. I've never seen any appeal in it. I've never liked it. But my wife came down. I said, "Hey, look, the Eurovisions are on. I've got it. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it." I don't want to watch that. So you guys not fans then, obviously?
I've watched it in the past. Just, people like to take the piss out of it, don't they? But I've got fed up with taking the piss out of it.
I think the presenter for the UK does it ironically.
Well, that's
it used
always been the way, hasn't it?
Well, it used to be
Terry Wogan for donkeys.
Terry Wogan, and then it was Graham Norton.
He's still doing Graham Norton.
I did watch the first year of Graham Norton, and Graham Norton basically made it because he was just taking the piss out of it so much. But it can only be done so much. I can't watch it. Like, I've got friends who watch like the semi-finals and follow like everything, like proper into it. It's just
you've got one friend who's up proper into it. He's not here today.
So
yeah.
So apparently, a lot of people in the UK are watching it because the UK have got a good chance.
They haven't. No one's got any chance. Everyone knows who's going to win this year.
It's going to be Ukraine, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. I just don't think everybody.
The 1 year we heard a song that might do all right because we've got someone who's popular on TikTok doing the song, and it's like, still ain't going to win.
Yeah.
I read this week, and I don't know whether it was true, but that Canada is going to be in the Eurovisions from 2023.
I think it's a one-off.
It's not going to be a one-off.
I think it will be, because let's be honest, we're not going to have you back.
We've had guest countries.
Yeah, we had Australia a couple of years ago. That's definitely not in Europe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think the UK just like asking people that think they might vote for them. Well, I know, but sort of we're like, come on, invite somebody.
Like, you think we have any influence of what goes on in Eurovision?
Even less so now.
Yeah, that's true.
We're like the least.
Technically, we shouldn't really be in it either, because we're not in Europe
either. It's not the EU vision.
Okay. Let's get on to the meat.
I just pour my beer.
Yeah,
there's been a bit of beer chat going on this week, so I've got a special beer for the show.
This is the Guinness. So
Guinness back to front for you guys, but actually it's back to front on the stream. But yeah, Guinness coffee beer.
Any good?
I've had one or two the other day, not today. It tastes like coffee.
Oh, is that what you want when you're drinking beer?
Well, I don't know. I quite like coffee, and I like beer.
Yeah. Oh well, I guess
It tastes like an iced coffee. It's a beer with cold brew coffee and natural flavours.
So it is caffeinated. Yeah.
So would you want a beer flavoured coffee?
No, that would just be weird. I'm not that much of an alcoholic that I need to have beer flavoured coffee in the morning.
Fred's like, I like the idea.
I'm not sure. No, because for people who know listen to the show know I don't drink and haven't drunk for over a decade now. But the thought, like, people are always like, "Oh, do you want an alcohol-free beer?" Absolutely not. Like, that's just.
They don't taste like beer, for one. Oh.
No, I get that. I don't drink milk. I'm lactose intolerant, and the idea of having like fake cheese, like
it's not vegan cheese.
Yeah. So no,
Yeah,
it's
like it just completely defeats the object of what it is you're trying
yeah,
to.
yeah. I kind of like
Yeah.
eliminate. I don't even try to think of that as food anymore.
It
So
goes
like,
back to that argument we had discussion we had before, where Diet Coke, it's not Coke, right? That's it. It's not Coke. Fake cheese, it's
Well, you
not
might as well
cheese.
just call it "It's not Coke."
yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe
Tastes
it's
fuck
not
all
Coke.
like Coke. New tagline for Diet Coke.
It's fuck all like it.
Here's my big beer. It's got a massive head on it.
Oh mate, you're
Oh
flicking
yeah,
that.
It's
Looks
one of
that
them. It's
does
got a
look
widget
good.
in the can. It looks
I
like
do
Guinness.
miss that. I miss.
But it doesn't
I
taste
miss
like Guinness.
in a big way. That's a good
Well, no,
point.
you won't miss this. So there you go.
I'm maybe not missing the coffee Guinness. No, that's fair enough. Let's move on to football then. I am going to just keep driving the show forward because I'm just aware that we're a day late and under a
Gotta
little bit
show
of
up.
time constraint. Yeah, quite the week for football. Neil, would you like to lord it over me? Would you like to proceed to lord it over me?
Shall we talk about fantasy football then? Is that what we're doing?
Yes. Yeah, sure. Yes.
Well,
let's.
as we know, we've had the cup going on the last 2 weeks. A lot of people got a bye the first week, us included, and then we got drawn against each other. And it was close-ish. It was close
You did
until it wasn't.
very well though, didn't you?
Well, I played
That
the right
boost, actually,
the bench
though.
boost. Well, to be fair,
I think you would
looked
have
at
done it without the bench
and I didn't
boost,
need
though,
the
right?
bench boost to beat you.
Right.
But it would have been even closer if I hadn't had the bench. But I had about 21 points on the bench, I think. So I did 20 points. Yeah, whatever. It was like it would have been 2 or 3 points in it if I still not played the bench boost. But yeah, so I managed to knock out the boss. My son and Christian had a bit of a ding dong. It was 120 points to 122, so that was pretty close.
Who lost? Who won?
My son's gone through. He's
Oh.
he was on that like, I don't know, I think I've done it, I think I haven't, because he dropped loads of points and stuff like that. So it only shows it on the cup screen how many points you've got in, like, after you've docked your points, not in the league table. So yeah, we were sitting there watching. I've got to mention the Arsenal Spurs game. Spurs Arsenal, because we'll get told off otherwise by the other one. The one who is not here will only be sulking, because it basically came down to that last game. It was all pretty close until that game, and I had Harry Kane, who did pretty good against Arsenal. And so yeah, I got all the points I needed. My wife also is through to the semis. She beat Dan. Is that right? Yeah, Dan Fletcher. She was quite a long way ahead in the end.
So hang on a second. Are you saying that 3 out of the 4 and that
there's definitely an Isaac in the final? Let's be honest.
Isaacs. Oh yeah, there's definitely.
This is like when Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man United or whatever all got to the semi-finals of the Cup of the Europe Champions League,
right?
And I think I don't know, one of them won in the end. Anyway, and then yeah, Vince managed to finally vanquish Scott Patton, whose tactic of doing absolutely fuck all to his team for the last God knows how many months failed to pay off this week.
How many points did he get? Can you see?
He got 56 points this week. He was one of the top scorers the previous week, though.
Yeah, weird. I know. 56 still not a bad shout considering his team was in such disarray.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be happy with 56 on a normal week, but there was a lot of double game weeks last week.
Yeah, so no, you couldn't be. You had to be pushing for triple for the 100 this week.
So the lineup for the semis is me versus Vince and my wife versus my son in the semis.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's gonna be. So if you win, it sets you up for a great final. If you win,
yeah,
I know your wife.
Yeah. Well, they've been arguing all evening because it's transfers tomorrow because it's a Sunday kickoff this week. Because it's been FA Cup final today. Did you watch the Cup final?
I did not. No.
Did you know who was in the Cup final?
I did. When I woke up this morning and went to check on the Premier League, it turned out my team was in the FA Cup final.
This is the first you knew about it.
Well, I think I obviously knew about it from weeks and weeks ago whenever they got through the semis, but I'd completely forgotten it was coming up. Yeah, isn't it funny, eh? Supporting a team, they're in the final, and you just don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
it
Well, I
becomes so
can't.
boring.
I'm not sure I'd
in these kind of
ever get to that
competitions.
point. To be honest, supporting my team, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Liverpool. Chelsea, obviously.
It wasn't quite as tense as the last time they got to a penalty shootout which was only a couple of months ago, and it went to like, what was it, 11-10 or something in the penalties.
Now you'll have to tell me. I can't remember.
Mm.
So anyway, back to the fantasy footy, which is far more interesting.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I find it fascinating now at the top. So I had even though I got knocked out of the cup, I made enough points to go top of the league.
Yes.
So I'm hanging on by a thread at the top. I've only got a lead of about 10 points.
Yeah, Christian. After we're saying that Christian needed a stonker of a week to get back in it, because I said last week it would probably be between the top two. Christian's only 5 points behind second again now, so he did have his stonker of a week.
It's all up there.
Yeah.
To play for.
It is going to come down to the wire, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a nail biter there for.
Yeah, so it's 2 weeks left.
So at the top.
Man United have only got 1 game left, so they're not playing this week. But a couple of other teams have got 3 games left, and most of them have got 2.
Wow.
But yeah, so I've got to get my transfers right this weekend. We'll see. I can only obviously make 1. Got no chips left to play, but I'm not sure anyone really has at this point.
Can I let you into a little secret?
You got a bench boost still?
No, I spent points on a transfer.
Oh my god!
Saying that I never ever do it, but I
what this week coming?
For this week coming, yeah.
Well, I don't know what to do because obviously, like I said, in the cup final, Salah hobbled off, and so did Van Dijk go off injured, and I have both those players in my team. I'm like,
ooh.
So if I do decide to get rid of Salah, that's quite a lot of money that I've got in the bank. And old Kevin De Bruyne had an absolute bell, so that's where Christian got most of his points from last week. He scored 4 goals in one game.
Yeah, I've hoofed Salah.
Yeah,
he's too much money to leave on the bench for him. He has, his it's finished, isn't it? His season's done. He hasn't been the same.
Oh, they might just save him for the Champions League now.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So
Christian says he's playing his wild card this week, so we'll look out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he saved one up right for the end. So
yeah, okay, good, exciting stuff. All right, good. Well,
and below you guys, I was going to say is battle for 4th really.
Yeah,
there's a.
Tim Kelly's been knocking around that third, fourth place spot for quite a while.
Yeah, then you, and then your son, you're 1953, 1952.
Yeah, I just want to beat him. That's all. Can't have him lording it over me for the next few months while in the off season.
Absolutely not.
And there's not even a World Cup one to do this summer because it's not until winter. So.
Oh well, it'll be back round before you know it. I get the sneaking suspicion we'll have a few more players in the league for next year. So I hope so.
Hopefully, the more the merrier.
Good. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Anything on Twitch, YouTube, Discord, any of that stuff?
I've not done any YouTubing or Twitching.
No.
There's been a bit of banter in the Discord.
I saw
Christian posted something this morning. It took a little while to get going,
hasn't it?
Well, we've had the playoffs are kicking off. I don't know how. Well, Northampton was getting beat at half time earlier on. I don't know how that finished.
Yeah, I don't think they won. I think they lost.
But yeah, like Luton was on last night. We managed to draw with Huddersfield, who's Lord obviously is the Huddersfield fan that we know of. He's the one Huddersfield fan I know of, and he's not shy about it, obviously. And he certainly won't be if they win on Monday. So there's a bit of that going on. Forest held on to win 2-1 earlier today in the playoff semi-final. So they're on Monday and Tuesday there, and then the finals 2 weeks tomorrow. So. Oh, it's 2-1 Mansfield in the end, so Cobbler's got a goal back, so they're not out of it.
No.
I'm looking on the Discord and I can see a load of food and drink chat. You still on the IPA stuff? Because we were talking about that last night.
Well, when was that last night?
Yeah, don't you remember we had Matt? He was
I
schooling
don't.
us.
Oh
on
yeah,
IPA.
yeah. Do I remember? I was absolutely hammered last night because I had all my
That
cider.
must have
Now
been
you're
after I left. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you came back and I jumped off, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, John's kicked. Was that before John posted about IPA? Oh, I can't remember. It's all a bit of a blur, to be honest. But then John Mouse was posting about IPAs, and I was not a major fan. But like I say, I can drink one, but then they just taste weird, and I can't drink more than one really. But
I like them.
then we had Christian posting in this morning about ruin a video game by adding moist to the title. So there was one of those threads going. Mostly me and mechanics.
I refuse to get involved in
Oh.
that.
Well, you'll have to join the Discord to see that. What horrendous things that came out of that.
That's right. That's right. You can listen. Look, I know you won't believe this, listeners, but if you're not in the Discord, the magic that you're hearing about right now, the extreme premium quality content, I know you're sitting there at home saying, "How can I get in on this?" Well, you can. You can just join the Discord. So feel free to drop by it. There's some instructions somewhere. I don't know where they are.
You could obviously put them in the show notes. But, you know.
I could do. Yeah, I don't know. Isn't that Dave's bit for the end? Isn't he supposed to do that?
That's my outro. Like actually
Yeah.
putting stuff into the outgoing feed is not me.
Let's move on then to tweets and questions, shall we? The first one is from Marty, friend of the show. Says, "Hello all, hope you are well. What kind of music are you all into? Myself, I love indie and dance. Have a good show."
That was a Marty saying that he was into Indian dance. Obviously not you.
Indie, not Indian dance. Indie and dance. Yeah, I used to like indie music back in the day.
So you're the audiophile, Kafres. Come on, what's your jam?
I like tons of different music.
Men at work.
I've DJ'd, yeah, Men at Work as well. I've basically okay. So here goes. So for a long time I've DJ'd, so I'm still massively into my techno. I don't like happy house. I don't like clap your hands. I don't want to see a glow stick anywhere.
Don't like dancing around in handbags.
I want hard, tough techno. Maybe some good tech house.
Get sweaty and bang your head.
Yeah, I want to be on the dance floor, fearing for my life from savage beats. That's what I like.
Yeah. Stand next to the 12-foot woofer.
Yeah, that's right. Stick your head in there. I used to enjoy going to clubs and being so battered you could see the music. That was always I knew you'd hit a good point in the night when you started to see the music coming out of the speakers. But I'm going through a resurgence right now. I'm really enjoying digging around in the 1970s, 1980s. A lot of stuff.
That's where the roots of all your techno comes from. In the 70s.
Well, it's not. I don't even think any of it's really I'm into any of that. I'm not really going down down any sort of like the Chicago, Detroit sort of lines. I'm really into my almost more like Americana music. Left Coast bands like what am I listening to right now? Ambrosia, Pages, Sniffing the Tears, Fleetwood Mac, Dire Straits.
Oh, Fleetwood Mac, I've heard of them.
Yeah, well, the big
and
boys
Dire
you've
Straits.
heard of. Yeah, there's so I don't know. I'm just enjoying living in the late 70s right now, early 80s. And if I had to pick a genre that I'm sort of honing in on, it's Australian synth pop. Like
Right.
Men at Work, Mental as Anything. I just picked up this week Midnight Oil. Do you remember Beds Are Burning? That one?
I thought that was the other one that you just said, to be honest. But
yeah,
I remember them. I'm not really a fan. You don't like NXS?
I have.
Were they a bit too popular for you?
A bit too popular, yeah. But their
album... What you want to do is dig around their older stuff because that wasn't popular.
Yeah, that's right, and I probably like it. Yeah, you're right.
Listen Like Thieves, I think, was their one that was sort of got popular, but it was then
Kick,
was
wasn't it?
Kick was the one that was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just super stellar, superstardom.
Yeah,
right?
They went like worldwide.
Sent them so popular that he hung himself on a doorknob, whacking himself off.
You keep looking around. You got the kid making sure the kids aren't here.
I'm looking around my. I know one of them's bringing me a cup of tea in a minute, so I'm just being careful, before I get into too much autoerotic, whatever they call it. I don't know.
Oh, you did a good job of covering up your extensive knowledge of the subject there.
Yeah, something like that. Choking yourself to death while whacking.
What a way to
It's
go!
funny, yeah. Me and
What a
the
way to
missus are
go.
talking about that today. It's funny. It's like
What?
it seems to be a phase. Like,
how'd you get onto that subject?
We just happened
it
to be
seems like
talking about that today.
it
Just
was
over
like
tea.
we were it was breakfast actually, but we were talking about like deaths of popular artists, and it was like there was a definite phase of that happening across actors and musicians and stuff, and then like you don't hear about it anymore, whether they're covering it up a bit more or whether it was just a phase of, I don't know, just people doing it. It was just really weird. It was like, yeah,
Sure.
I haven't heard of anybody big famous of that happening recently.
Do you think that, yeah, maybe it's, do you think sort of like, I don't want to say, I don't want to kink shame anyone, but that sort of deviancy or whatever, like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it was more likely to be underground, right? It was more likely to be
didn't have
to be
iPhones then, did they?
to be a scandal, right?
Couldn't just look at your phone and knock one out. You had to get a bit more creative.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure. Anyway, so what kind of music do you guys like, Dave?
So I like early 90s, mainly pop, but things like the Shaman. I like them. A bit of sort of Brit pop, indie pop, but also like a bit of American rock. Obviously I like Nirvana, but and then sort of Foo Fighters, Silverchair. Who else? Just yeah, and then just I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just like good music.
You don't listen to the modern radio then.
No, I don't.
It's difficult to find a radio station that isn't just playing a ton of shit these days.
Yeah.
I have turned into an old man.
No, I do like the fact that I can play my Apple not my Apple Music, Amazon Music through my car now.
Right.
Because I just put on early 90s music and it plays me a random selection of stuff. I'm like, oh, I remember that. Some dance from early 2000s, and then I do like Pulp and
I used to love Pulp.
like Beastie Boys and yeah, just all different types really.
Loads of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know, some modern stuff as well, but not so much. I don't know the names of them. That's the thing about Amazon Music now.
I listen to loads of music and I haven't got a fucking clue who any of it is.
Yeah, no, yeah, it just plays.
What
I like that. It's like, oh, I forgot to ask who that was. So unless I actually actively go through and look at my playlist and try and remember which song, vaguely sort of point which songs goes against which, I don't know. So yeah, early 90s, bit of late 90s, early 2000s, anything that's good.
Craig's just told us he's disconnected, so hopefully someone's recording.
David's recording.
Good stuff.
I was right into my break beats when I was like 16, 17, 18, I guess. So I still quite listen to that old stuff every now and again.
Like who?
I don't fucking know any of them, do I? Just fucking DJs just played music, and I used to like listen to pirate radio stations and stuff like that. With DJs just mixing stuff. Night. But I can't, there's a couple of ones I can't fucking remember that was big at the time. It's like, and then I kind of moved into like I went to Nebworth to see Oasis, so it was that was the sort of phase I went through. That, like you say, that about Britpop and stuff. I used to quite like rap. Christian says Rat Pack. Yeah, that was a bit too pop rave for me. Rat Pack. But that was like more like Fantasia raves, which was too popular. I never actually went to many raves. I went to one illegal rave, and I fucking felt like I was going to die afterwards because it was filthy. And then just went to a few like sort of clean raves, like organised raves, but not many because I was a bit too young. I was on the cusp of being like old enough to go to all that shit, and it was kind of frittering out by the time I was old enough. But yeah, I still like into that. Like I say, I wanted to quite a lot of that techno music as well. Like I say, I can't name any fucking artists or anything. Like I just like I say, I'm on YouTube Music, but it just throws up like playlists that other people have made, and I just click play, and then if I don't like it, I just skip or whatever. Christian's asking, "Am I posh?" I don't think I could be any less posh. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Well, yeah. Some of my best memories about music is at festivals.
Yeah,
That's
so
you're
I've
a
where.
never done a
festival
festival.
goer, though, right? You've gone
Yeah.
to lots of festivals, though. Right?
Yeah, I went
You went to one not long ago. I remember a couple of years ago when we started the podcast.
Yeah.
You went to Reading, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I went to Reading. Saw Foo Fighters there. Yeah, love a festival.
I don't like the dirt.
You don't like the dirt.
Yeah, and
Embrace
the
the
smelling
dirt.
people, and
I did.
gross.
I did Glastonbury a couple of times. I don't think I could ever do that again. Like, it's just the only way I got through that was just like being young, naive, and just invincible, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And out of your face, off your face,
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah.
I've
But
seen
yeah,
things.
like I saw Chemical Brothers. They were absolutely amazing live. Fatboy Slim. The most memorable one was Marilyn Manson supporting Eminem at Leeds.
Right. Interesting.
And I think Eminem and Marilyn Manson had done a song together, and Eminem came on stage for the Marilyn Manson and then carried on to his set. And Marilyn Manson as an artist I don't like, as a person I don't like, but as a performer was fucking amazing. He was like one of the best performances on stage, like I've ever seen. And
it's funny
so
because I was talking to my wife this morning, like you were talking to your wife this morning about autoerotic, whatever it is. I was talking to my wife this morning about she was getting mad at me because I didn't know Eminem's real name, but I really couldn't see why it mattered.
There's,
great joke.
is that his real name though? Is that his real name?
Marshall Mathers. Yeah.
Is that his real name, or is that just another made-up name?
You can say.
How do you know?
It's probably his stage name.
I thought his name was Slim Shady anyway.
The real Slim Shady. Okay, thanks for that, Marty. Cobby says, question, if any at all, what game are you all most excited for in the near or distant future? He also says, thanks for continuously making my weekends awesome with these banger shows. Isn't that nice?
Thank you.
Yeah, it was nice. Thank you. Thank you for always liking and commenting on whatever you.
Yeah.
Being very supportive generally.
Yeah, we appreciate it, of course. What games are you excited for?
I made some notes on this because I went through and had a look.
Go on then.
You did well to not read them out after that, right? Because I read right next. So, Test Drive Unlimited, I'm interested in that, seeing what happens with that. I haven't seen a Test Drive game in fucking ages. I didn't even play the last one, which I can't remember where it was based. I think I played one that was on Ibiza, but I can't remember now. If that may have been the last one. Yeah, it's a bit, I think, obviously Forza Horizon is like the new way of doing those type of games. So we'll see what Test Drive have come up with. Because it was like sort of simulation racing, but in a sort of open world the last time they did it.
Yeah. So, I don't think it went down too well, did it?
Nah, I don't think the last one went down, but I think there was definitely one before that I definitely played quite a lot of. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, I'm interested to see what goes on with that. And what was the other thing I wrote in there? Because I'm not on the right page. Oh,
Sniper
Sniper Elite 5
5
coming out very soon. I'm interested to try that out.
I've never heard you talk about Sniper Elite.
Yeah, I kind of like them. I'm intrigued to see it. It's not like I really can't wait for it, but I'm getting that access to it through Game Pass for nothing. So it's like I'm definitely going to try that out. And of all the games coming out in the next few weeks, can't really see much else that's really gone. Yeah, that was cool. But I think I'm expecting a bit of a leap from the last one. The last one was definitely one of the better ones that they've done. But I'm hoping the next one is just like, really nailed it this time. And it could be really good, but we'll see. And then in a lot of distant future, in a time, however far away, God of War Ragnarok. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Is that the next God? Sorry, is that
that's the next
God of
That's
War?
the sequel to God of War, yeah.
All these names like Test Drive Unlimited, you could have told me all these games already exist, and I would have gone, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Test Drive Unlimited, that to me sounds like a game that's been around before, or was it just Test Drive?
It was definitely Test Drive something else, I think. But this should have come out fucking years ago, I think, Unlimited, and it's been like, I think they basically restarted it again. But yeah, that was on the list. It was coming out later this year. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I just went and had a look at a list of games that are coming out this year and picked a few out. Went, that'll be cool, hopefully. But yeah, it might be a complete pile of shit. So we'll see nearer the time. But yeah, God of War, I can't see that being a pile of shit, but don't know when the fuck it's coming out or what platform I'm going to end up playing that on.
Dave, do you have any?
No. Apparently there's supposed to be a new Motorsport Manager game coming out.
Yeah, I heard that.
I very much enjoyed the first one that came out.
Would you play it on mobile or PC?
I play it on PC. Yeah.
Because did it have crossplay? I can't remember. Something like that.
No, I didn't have crossplay. No. The mobile game and the PC game, even though the same names, are very different.
Didn't you play the mobile one before?
I played the mobile one. There's 3 mobile games.
I do listen to you.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
That's very well remembered because that's probably like 2 years old. But yeah, there's 3 mobile games and there's one on one PC game, or PC and just personal computer. But yeah, there's a second PC one coming out that's supposed to be quite good. Or will be quite good if it follows the progress of the first one. Other than that, not a lot really.
Can't say
I know there's
Starfield now, obviously.
I was going to say, yeah, that was. I wouldn't have remembered the name unless there was recently news of the fact that it's been cancelled. Well, not cancelled. It's been delayed until early next year.
No one remembers the other game that got pushed back either. Redfall. They said.
Redfall. That was.
I can't remember what that was. That was a vampire game. Is it a vampire?
Who's that from?
That was another Bethesda job.
Yeah, it was another Bethesda one. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's there's PUBG 2.
I am still looking forward to Starfield, but
I'm gonna just on my son's behalf, I'm gonna say the next Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2. He keeps going on about that, so I think that's going to be great when that comes.
That's going to be ages.
Probably, I don't know. I wouldn't hold my breath for any of these.
A good Battlefield game, Battlefield 6.
Could be waiting a long time for that.
Mate, isn't that dead yet? That series?
I think they did their best to fucking kill it off last year.
Cobby, thanks very much for that. Really appreciate it as usual. John,
Phrase, you didn't tell us.
We've had another tweet in.
I have nothing I'm really looking forward to except for, like I say, Breath of the Wild. I mean, I'll jump on board Breath of the Wild too. So my son and I will probably, I loved it. It's great. Speak of the devil, and you shall appear with a cup of tea. Thank you very much, sunshine. Yeah.
Is he wearing a hat?
Well, he's got long hair and he's a teenager, right? So.
Right. So he needs a snowboard to go with it.
It's only been around 28 degrees here today, but he's I don't
Is that Fahrenheit?
What do I know?
Yeah, we've had another tweet in before we move on.
Okay.
MS Rangers has tweeted. He says, I know it was a hard decision for you boys to do a show tonight, knowing you was going to miss the best TV of the year, Eurovision.
Mm-hmm.
We've already discussed that. So let's see if this works. Each of you tell me how many points the UK will get this year. If I don't forget, I'll come back and tell you the results.
I don't
know what a good score is.
Yeah, I don't know. 26.
I think we beat that.
I will say 48.
It's weird though. They do a public vote and then the whatever vote, don't they?
Come on, you know more than
judges. Well, I watched it
Come on,
occasionally.
give us a number.
Go on, give us a number.
172.
There we go. All right. There we go. Yeah, we can come back and check on that. Excuse me. Okay, let's move on to what we've been doing. I think we could just go in order.
Hang on,
here.
we've got a Discord. You didn't do John's Discord.
Oh, do I not do John Mouse's?
No.
Friend of the show. Where's the podcast? Are they doing another one? Do we know? Do I have to get the? I'm not going to get the boot in too much, but looking forward to hoping another podcast comes along from our friends at the Joysticks and Chill. John Mouse, friend of the show, says, do any of you fine folks find the time to read books in between all the gaming and life stuff? I can answer that straight away and say I am chipping away at, what's it called? Press Reset, I think it's the one after
another game-related one.
Yeah, well,
you've not been reading that for about 6 months.
Yeah, but here's how I'm reading it every day. Every day when I go in to do my morning ablutions, I read like a couple of pages. So it's probably going to take me around about half a year to finish it. But I'm plowing through it. I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through. It's good. It's interesting. And I want to get that done because I've got another book lined up after it. So,
what is that at the library? In a queue at the library?
No, a friend of mine gave me a book. See, the thing is, if somebody gives me a book, they go, "Here, you got to read this." Then I got to read it, right? If someone says to me, "Oh, you
just hold on to it for a few weeks and go, "Yeah, I read it. It was great," and just give it back and don't read it.
No, the problem is because I walk with him every weekend, right? So it's sooner.
How are you getting on with the book? I haven't started it
yet. I did tell him I'm not going to read it for weeks, so he's prepared for the wait. But yeah, if you tell me to read a book, I'll probably be like,
"What if I tell you to read a book?"
Anybody tells me to read a book, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll read that, and I probably won't read it. But if you give me the book, then I feel obliged, like, oh shit, now I got to read it. So,
yeah, I was reading the book. I talked about reading the book on air.
Can you read?
I read the first Witcher book a long time ago. That was the last book I actually read from front to back, and that was fucking ages ago. I was reading the You Died Dark Souls companion book written by Keza MacDonald and some other lad. And that was like, it's a book about Dark Souls, obviously, but it's about the experience of all these journalists, largely, who were reviewing the game before it came out and like conversing with each other about their stories and like helping each other out. And that's how that's like the first part of the book is all about, how they were like there was like a mega thread of all these journalists going like, I've done this and I've done that and I have no idea how I'm going to beat this and all that sort of shit. So if you've played Dark Souls, the first one, obviously because it contains massive spoilers for the game, but it's interesting if you've played through the first Dark Souls, or if you're never going to play through the first Dark Souls, but you're interested in the series.
Yeah,
maybe you've played Elden Ring.
It sounds like it would be interesting.
It is. It was. And I don't know why I stopped reading it. I just kind of stopped reading. I will go back to it.
Pop it next to the shitter.
Yeah, that's where I do my dailies on my phone on the shitter.
Don't take your phone in.
What's the point then?
What about you, Dave? You reader?
I've read every single Discworld. Yeah. That's the series that I've read front to back. I've read a couple of Isaac Asimov's, and I'm reading.
Sorry, are we listing off all the books we've read? Because this could be extremely, Are you reading now?
No. This is my complete reading material. The book that I'm reading at the moment is Foundation, Isaac
Oh
Asimov.
yeah. Okay.
So was that the
Because I
TV
want to
show that's based
I
on?
want to read it before. I haven't actually watched it yet. I want to read
Right,
it
okay.
first and then watch it. The amount of time I actually get to do it is not great. It's always one of those things that I want to read more than I do. But yeah, gaming, family, work.
No, my biggest threat to reading is picking up the iPad when I go to bed instead of picking up a book.
Oh, that's terrible for you. Picking up the
Isn't it?
iPad. That
Yeah,
blue
I'm not
light.
happy.
You'll never sleep properly. Well, no wonder you're up at
Maybe
fucking 4 in the morning.
Yeah, maybe that's it. And not reading books either. It's
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah.
Okay, right. That's it. Yes. Are we readers? Sort of.
Not.
We try.
We try.
We are capable of reading, yes.
We're trying. Maybe not our best, but we're giving it a go. John would be
definitely not.
disappointed. He's a teacher. I can feel his teacher gaze
disdain.
on us. Yeah, disdain. Yeah. That's a big
Yeah,
word.
it's almost like I read. It's not that big. It's only like 7 letters. Just an unusual word, maybe.
You can count too. That's good.
I hope it's 7 letters. Kind of just quickly work that out of my head.
2 syllables. All right, let's move on to what we've been doing then. Neil, come on, let's get this footy stuff out of the way.
I've done the footy, really. We talked about it already, so I don't really need to talk about it
Did
anymore.
we talk about the loots, though? Did we really?
Yeah, I talked about them last said, we drew 1-0 against Huddersfield.
Okay. Yeah, exciting stuff. Okay.
Setting up a tense encounter on Monday night. We'll see. Winner takes all. Well, gets to the final. Anyway.
I was going to say, if it ends up as 1-1 again, do they?
It'll go to extra
penalties?
time and then penalties. I think it's extra time.
Man.
Obviously, they have a slight advantage because they were finished higher in the league. They've had the home leg second, so.
And
it would have been good for us to have smashed them like 6-0 in the first leg, but didn't really think that was a.
And do away goals count double?
No away goals.
Oh, okay.
So we just want to.
So you've got to win. Well, you've got to win no matter what.
Well, yeah. Well, either team has to win. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
So, yeah, but 0-0. But 0-0's not going to put them through.
No, but it won't be the end of it though. So.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
No. Fuck all.
Okay.
I'll save that for next week. What you're hinting at, I think, is I'm going to save for next week. Potentially.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah, I've got a few things then that I can crack on with here. COVID is reared its ugly. I was literally walking. I went out the other day. I went to the supermarket. I went down to. I did the soup. This is a real man thing to do here, or what I would say a dad thing to do. My dad used to do this. Go to Canadian Tire. I got nothing better to do than go to Canadian Tire, which is this big sort of auto man. I call it like a man cave shop type thing, right? You get all
autoerotic
hardware stuff for your car.
People whacking themselves off in the corner.
Whatever. So anyway, and I was thinking, it's all been very quiet on the old COVID front. I had my Did I have my mask on? I had my mask on. And I was like, I'll still keep my mask on just to be safe. But yeah, I haven't heard much about COVID. And then not 2 minutes later, my wife phones me and she goes, "Have you got your mask on? Because I've got COVID." So that's visited our house. My wife's been a bit rough the last few days. So it's not over yet.
It's not Aunt Flo anymore, is it? It's Aunt COVID.
Yeah, right. And I'm still holding out though. I haven't caught it. I said to my wife, I'm not going to bother. Like don't isolate or anything like that. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. Right. It's and I'm supposed to be coming over in June to the UK. So, which we haven't talked about actually. At some point, I think we're getting together for some beers. So
you won't be drinking, obviously.
Well,
you can have a nice Diet Coke.
Yeah, I'll have a. Oh my god, that's.
Or Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Have you guys got anything decent soft drinks in the pub yet, or anything like that? Or
Brewdog have started making soft drinks. They were an IPA company.
Yeah.
They've started making soft drinks that are good for the planet, potentially.
I'm not going to say my personal opinions on the CEO of Brewdog.
No, I don't think. Don't need to go there. Let's be honest.
No.
Could be a listener. You never know.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to be getting together for some beers in London in June. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good.
Is it though?
We'll-
Yeah, I think if anybody wants to give us a shout on that, then do so. So
yeah,
anyway,
we're going to organise something, can't we? Where
yeah,
we're going to be, and
yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Just drop us a line, and yeah. So I don't want to catch COVID like in June. That's what really fucked me up.
Definitely
Right?
not.
So it sounds really crazy. But it's if I'm gonna get it, then fuck it, get it now.
Better get
right?
it now. Yeah.
Um,
Did you write a note of those calls that we put in, by the way?
Did I what?
Did you make a note of the scores that we said for the Eurovision?
No, I said 26.
Did
I said
you?
48.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
let's write it in. So can someone write it in? Yeah. So anyway, we've got that going on. So it's been. That's why we didn't record yesterday. That was my fault. So yeah. So last Friday we didn't record because my wife was at this trade show. Lo and behold, she catches COVID from it, so I couldn't record this Friday because I had to sort of try and sort stuff out.
Unbelievable.
But unbelievable.
Is she right?
She's okay. She feels a bit rough. Headaches is the thing she's complaining about the most.
Well,
Yeah.
She's very coldy the last couple of days, sort of like coughing and sniffling and all that sort of stuff.
My wife's got a chest infection again.
Yeah, dear. Doesn't stop, does it?
She's always ill.
Yeah. Okay. Well, get well soon, all the wives.
yes.
Yeah.
I had a hissy fit in the supermarket the other day.
Ooh.
So I went to the supermarket. I was like starving. Didn't help. But I was like,
So
I
you
want
was
to.
hangry, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was hangry. Yeah, but yeah, I was hangry. I'll give. I was, stressed. It was like Monday or Tuesday lunchtime. I needed some food. Just left my office and just gotta go get something. And I grabbed the stuff, and I get to the checkout of this place. I haven't been there for a while, and they used to have like it's sort of like a small to medium supermarket, right? It's not very big at all. But they used to have about 4 or 5, I say 5 or 6 checkouts, something like that, whatever. And I get there to go to check out, and like 4 of them have been removed and replaced with a self checkout area.
Oh yeah.
And then the other
You're
two
catching up with the UK.
The other two have lines like stretching out. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, are you kidding? I hate self checkout, right? I just hate it. And I knew I had something that needed to be weighed as well. I was just like, this has got disaster written all over it. But I looked at the 2 lines of the check, and they were full, like people with big carts or whatever. So I'm like, crap. And I go in and I start scanning it, and straight away, like I'm just scanning, not even doing the vegetables or anything like that, just doing the normal, like easy stuff. And it goes, the weight of your bag does not match what you have scanned. Please call for assistance. I was like, fuck's sake. And I just grabbed the stuff and I went, I'm going to go in the line then. And I was just about to go in the line of instead, like I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to stand firm and I'm going to go in the line then. This lady goes, oh, I can help you with that. And I just, she just made me crack. I just went, you know what? Forget it. I'm not interested. Here, have them all back. I'm taking my money elsewhere. And as I was walking out, I heard somebody, they went, yeah, I agree with that. It's fucking bullshit, isn't it? Right? Who asked for self-checkout? Find me the customer who said, I want to check out my own groceries.
It's not about your customers.
No.
I mean, why would it be?
It's about fucking penny pinching fucking bosses who think it's. And all it is the ever onward march of technology that can fucking replace humans until there's no fucking jobs left that humans can do because technology does it.
Yeah, right. Oh man, but that's not technology replacing. That's me doing it. That's me having to go through a problem.
You can fucking work for us instead.
Yeah, I just like, God, man. Anyway, I've had rants about this before, and I'd be if you want to come at me and say, no, Fraser, you're completely wrong, then go ahead, because I'll be fascinated to find out anybody who thinks I'm wrong. It's just
some people definitely would rather not speak to another human being as much as possible. Like they just do everything they can to avoid people, but they probably don't even go to the shop. So.
Well, I went to the shop today to pick up some beer, and I specifically didn't go to the self-checkout because I had beer and they got to check your age. I'm like, it's just going to take just as long to wait in line as to get.
I just go where the shortest queue is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh no,
So
I have
anyway,
a problem. Oh, I have fucking. Yeah, I'm not talking. We're not going into
I've
that.
embarrassed. I've embarrassed the family. Anyway, so.
Oh, you've brought shame upon your family
Shame.
by having a Hissy Fit in the supermarket.
That was
We can't go in there
definitely
again.
that was
Honestly.
a un-Canadian thing for you
And
to
it's
do.
like, everyone would be like, "Psst, that's the guy. That's the guy. The one that says about the
Luckily, I had my mask on, so I could be okay. Although saying that, I did walk into the supermarket the other day, and I saw my friend's daughter, who's like same age as my daughter, right? And I had a mask on, and she immediately recognized me. I was like, "That's pretty impressive!" Like, they just straight away, she just glanced and knew it straight away that it was me. Like that we can recognize people with masks on. Anyway, just a thought. So,
Well,
anyway,
you've just got used to seeing people with masks on over the last 2 years.
No,
And
it's
your eyes,
the information
but it's your
in the
eyes. It's your eyes. That's where people look, because that's what they look at when they look at somebody. Is your eyes.
Well, when you've got eyes like mine, I mean,
You know, they do stare into you a bit, don't they? Like they're looking
yeah,
into your soul or something.
like mine just look dead inside.
Just like, oh, you don't look stoned. You look different.
So that was the supermarket. Hi-Fi. I went and I made another purchase. I saw online somebody's yawning. Who's yawning when I'm talking about Hi-Fi?
sorry.
Dave, you and your
It
yawning.
was just a coincidence that you happened to be talking about Hi-Fi when he yawned. He's just tired.
I won't sit for too long on it. Anyway, turns out I saw a pair of Boston A60s. Which
Is that what you put on the
in that video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked good.
And yeah, they're sort of like a mid to late 80s speaker or whatever. I've always liked the look of them, and this pair is absolutely mint. Original guy he'd owned them from new back when he was in his early 20s. But they needed refoaming. Do you remember, Neil? I sent that picture once of those speakers where all the surrounds were all gone, right?
Mhm.
It was the same with that. So these needed refoaming. I was like, I could do that. I'm sure I could do it. I'll have a go anyway. So
Do you need to put foam on them?
yeah, you have to.
Can you just have them naked?
No, that won't work. No, not that foam. It's basically like a surround of the speaker cone itself.
Of the actual cane, right? Okay.
Not the grill. We're not talking the grills.
Yeah,
I'm talking the actual, basically seals the speaker between itself and
Oh,
the
okay.
bottom.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that yourself. Right.
Yeah, I've only learned about it in the last sort of year. And I remember that a couple of years ago, I'd sent a picture to Neil about some guy selling some speakers, and they were all rotted around the speaker. And I was laughing to Neil, saying, "How does he expect to sell these?" But actually, that's exactly what I did. I
fucking
just bought
bought
a pair like that. I went and bought a pair like that. I'm eating crow. I was wrong to mock.
Bit of expanding foam around it.
Yeah, I just ordered. Well, I ordered the surrounds off Amazon for like $10, $12, I think they were.
As long as you got the dimensions, I guess.
Yeah, the dimensions were fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for $50 plus a bit of labor and whatever, I got these speakers that are definitely now worth like a couple of hundred, I reckon. No
Nice.
problem. And it's not about what they're worth. They just, I love them.
Just another pair of speakers in your house.
Yeah, but these ones again, these speakers are important compared to I have another pair over there, which if they disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't care. But these Bostons now, see, they're mine. We've put time in on these. Right?
See, I'm waiting for your
Practically
computers
family.
to start dying because you've got so many magnets in the house that all your hard drives are going to start
Yeah,
start magnetizing.
My daughter did say, "Why are you getting another pair of speakers?" She counted them all. There's like 15, 16 speakers in this room alone. So yeah, it's a problem, but it's a good problem anyway.
You should just build a wall of sound.
I'm trying to. But anyway, yeah, so that's good. I'm really pleased with those. And I started watching the Pentaveret on Netflix. So
I don't know what that is. No.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know what the Pentaveret is, and I didn't until I just saw it the other day. It's basically a new series by Mike Myers. And
What, the mass murderer?
No,
That's not real, Dave.
And it's yeah, if you like Austin Powers, then this is straight up your alley. He's basically done, it's Mike Myers doing what Mike Myers does. He plays. So the whole story is about this sort of like Illuminati group called the Pentaveret. These five people who work in the background to control the world or whatever.
I assume they're all Jewish, obviously.
No, and Mike Myers played. No, they're not. But they're all different. Like one of them's Russian, the other one's like an Australian media mogul. The other one's an old British guy. and then
This is sounding familiar.
everyone's fourth one is right, but oh yeah, absolutely. And but they're all played by Mike Myers, except the fifth one keeps dying, and so every few weeks they have a new like person they're
Have
trying
to
to
interview this new guy.
Yeah, well, they've had a couple of different sort of like they're almost like guest stars who come in
Right.
to fill the fifth position. And then the whole story going on behind that is that there's this Canadian journalist that Mike Myers plays, which is he's just genius in that role. It's the best Canadian piss take I think I've ever seen.
And there's been a few.
Yeah, there's been a few. This one is just spot on, and then it's all about this Canadian guy who gets in with this conspiracy theorist guy from the States who's played by Mike Myers, and they're trying to uncover the Pentaveret or whatever like that. But it's got all that sort of toilet humor that Austin Powers had. His impressions are brilliant. It's got other people in it. You're just I won't spoil it, but there's like one role by a British actress which is just tremendous. She's brilliant in it. And yeah, it's good. It's good. It's totally puerile and through most of it. I just keep thinking about one bit they do in like this. There's some really just neat stuff that they do. Just take the piss. Like I didn't realize until I went back and watched the first one again the other day, or that they mentioned it. I'd missed it. But the whole bit where they film in Canada, where this main character is, it's all done in like almost standard definition 4:3 format and really like shitty. And it's not until they literally cross the border into America that everything becomes nice. Like they it's just Mike Myers because he's Canadian, right? And so he just has no problem in completely getting the level of self-deprecating humor is phenomenal, right? From Mike Myers on this one as a Canadian.
So I suppose if people don't know that Mike Myers is Canadian, they might take it the wrong way. That is like
all the best Americans are Canadian.
I know. I think anybody straight away like that. It's just a complete piss. It panders, but it's not even just that. It's just like the Australian guy panders to all the Australian stuff that you expect. Like he does one character that is like a QAnon guy with his American QAnon guy with his show on TV called Rex Smith Truth Hunter, right? And it just he just nails it on every bit of like that sort of QAnon bullshit stuff. You have to see it. It's really, I honestly, it's. But go in expecting to have a laugh. Don't
Okay.
Not a documentary.
Have a few beers before you sit down and watch it with someone and have a good laugh. I was just in tears last night watching it. So yeah. So that's what I've been watching and doing. Dave.
Me, I've watched the whole season of Severance, which is on Disney Plus.
No.
This is on
Severance is on Apple TV.
Apple TV, sorry, Apple TV. Fucking hell, it's good.
I've heard everyone says that, so I need to watch it.
It's the best thing on telly that I've seen in a long time. It's got a kind of air of Lost about it, in that there's mystery about what's going on. I'm not gonna spoil anything about it, because watching it and finding out about it is the best thing about it.
We're all
And
gonna watch it at some point, aren't we?
I've got Apple TV again because I got an email from Apple saying you bought a thing that gives you 3 months of Apple TV. I was like, oh, and it's going to run out soon if you don't use it. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to use it. So
yeah,
I've got
watch it. Watch
2.5 months of Apple TV now because I still haven't watched anything.
Watch if you're going to watch anything. If you're going to use that for anything, watch this.
Yeah, I remember Christian said about this a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
Every fucking podcast I've listened to for fuck knows how long has been banging on about this.
Yeah, it's all there's 9 episodes, and they're all out now. I think the last one was last week. So, yep, watch that. Amazing. Literally finished watching it. It was like, when season 2 going to be released? Like, it's been announced. It's been confirmed that it is.
Ben Stiller's the director, isn't he? apparently.
He's the director in a few episodes. He is the executive producer in all of the episodes. There is, I think, various different episodes are directed by different people. But yeah, Ben Stiller definitely
his
does
baby, isn't
one
it, I
or two
think?
of them. I tell you what, the ones with Ben Stiller that he directs are excellent. They're probably the best ones out of the lot because it was funny.
Is it a series of like a flowing series? Or is
It's
it
a flowing series, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's not. Yeah, but some are better than others. Some
Right.
progress the story in certain ways, and it's yeah, the ones that progress the most and has more depth to them, character progression, seem to be Ben Stiller. So I wonder whether he's picked those out as the ones that he wants to direct, or he's done it in such a way that he's there. But yeah, it's excellent. Finished Moon Knight. I don't know. I was really up for it last time. I've watched a couple, like 3 episodes and I really liked it. At the end of it, I was like, like I think Pilch was saying that last week, like everyone's saying the story was shit. I was like, no, the story was right. It's like, no, at the end of it, I was like, oh, I can see why people were saying the story was shit. You've got to really care about ancient Egyptian history and gods, and yeah,
Okay. This sounds like it could be interesting to me.
Yeah, if you like that stuff, if you enjoy watching and reading about it and learning about it, it's great. It goes places that it probably didn't need to linger on so much, and trying to sort of force feed this information down your throat. It seems like a really good educational film video, or in some things. Like, yeah, I can imagine like I don't know how like actual to reality all of these things that I was talking about are, but if you're teaching history about ancient Egypt and you wanted your kids to learn about it and pointed them to Moon Knight, I think they would pick up quite a lot. It's just too much. It was just a bit overblown. Again, the character, I can't remember his name, Poe from Star Wars.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, he is an amazing actor. But yeah, the story was a bit. And then I've watched a film.
I'll tell you what, if you like Oscar Isaac, go watch The Card Counter.
Okay.
One of his movies. That's my.
Where did you find that? Is that on Netflix?
I
do
don't
not know. Right.
I don't know. I watched it with a friend when I was at his house.
Okay.
The Card Counter.
Yeah, go check that out. And that'll put Oscar Isaac on your map for sure.
Like he's not already. Like he's not been in one of the biggest films of the last decade, but.
Yeah, well. Yeah, but he did what? Like the Star Wars films?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't really stand out in them, did he? Did he?
He was a main character in one of them.
He didn't really come out of that though as like a major Star Wars character, right?
Well, he's not a Jedi, is he? So spoilers. Sorry if you haven't watched the latest Star Wars films.
I bet you he probably is. God knows. I mean, the next 3, who knows?
Fucking, they're not making any more. They're not making any more.
Yeah, of course they are. That mate.
They're not. Not like the mainline story wise. No, it'll all be spin-off shit from now on.
No, it won't. They'll do another 3. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me they're not bringing back Daisy Ridley again?
Yeah, they're not doing it. She's that. No one likes that shit, so no, it's not coming back.
That's not true.
It is true. No one liked the last trilogy. Everyone thinks it was a fucking load of shit, including me. So no, they're not going to make it because they know it's unpopular.
Sorry, Baron's going on. Baron and I are having a chat in about. I was going to type in this, but he mentioned Split Ends from New Zealand. Yeah, I have the album as well, and he says it's a laser etched record, so it's all like got you move it and whatever. It's all weird. Sorry, just an aside
Cool.
there.
Cool.
So it got like a hologram in it.
Yeah, it's basically like laser etched hologrammy type sort of. It's not a traditional type hologram where you're looking around the genie's head and all that shit, but.
They all have genies in holograms.
I don't know. Isn't that like what a hologram should be?
I thought it had to be an actual object that they'd like laser.
Genie's head is an object.
Well, only they'd have to make the genie's head first, obviously.
I don't know.
Because unless I'm wrong, I didn't really think that they were a real thing, genies.
Maybe not. Sorry, Dave, we derailed you.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about records, and I wonder if any of them have done like the Magic Eye records, where you got to stare at it like about 3 inches from your face.
I
and
reckon
then,
if you had
pull it
enough
out.
drugs and stared at a record for a long time, you'd probably see some mad shit.
You could see the music. Last thing is I watched Venom. Let There Be I'll type that in. Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah,
last
Have
night.
you seen the first one?
Yes. Yeah, it's the sequel. It's the sequel to Venom. I liked both main characters, Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson. I like Woody Harrelson. I think he's a great actor. And he plays a great bad guy. Carnage being the
He's a
bad
baddie
guy.
then.
He's a baddie. Woody's the baddie. Yeah, he is a baddie, and he also has a baddie alien inside of him as well. Spoilers.
Okay.
Mark's in the chat. Sorry, just give a quick shout out to Mark. I don't think I've seen him in the chat before. Hello, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
PUBG later.
He's been here before. Oh, you can tell because it didn't say first time chatter.
I don't think I've seen his new name. Literally Lethius. But I knew he changed it though, but I didn't know what it was. Sorry, Dave, derailed you again. But I can tell you though, just to bring us back on track, is that
Because you said you watched it, yeah.
We watched it a couple of weeks ago, and on our family night movie, I found it thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you both watched the first one, obviously, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've not seen the first one.
Yeah. So, first one's about an hour and a half, second one's about an hour and a half as well. That's a great time for a movie.
An hour and a half is a good length of movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It doesn't overstay its welcome. You know, Venom is entertaining. I found it was a good laugh. I thought it was a good laugh. It was a good mix of like.
So is this like a Marvel movie then?
Yeah, it's proper Marvel.
So how have they not ruined it by making it extremely fucking long and tedious?
Well, that's just it, right? I just don't think it gets the budget, right? So anyway, isn't it? It might be Sony though. Is it Sony or is it Marvel?
Spider-Man is Sony.
Yes, because it ties into Spider-Man at the end.
Right.
Spoilers.
Well, yeah, they're kind of linked.
Does it?
Dave's dishing the spoilers on the fucking Venom.
Well, I think anyway, I don't think you can have any spoilers. Isn't there something like this all the time? They've basically just given themselves free reign and said, just open up all the timelines, right? And everything, we can do whatever we want.
Oh, so anything's possible now.
They've got multiverses, haven't they now? So,
yeah.
But yeah, we liked it.
Venom is a funny character. And yeah, the dynamic between the two, Tom Hardy's character, I don't know what his name is. It's just Tom Hardy.
I wanted to say Cenobite, but I know that's not what it is because Cenobite's from Hellraiser. What the fuck what is his? It's got like a name. Symbiote. That's the one. Fucking hell.
And Eddie Brock.
Yeah. But yeah, Venom's a good character. And yeah, the baddie's a good baddie. You could see what was going to happen like midway through the movie, but that's a feel-good factor when it actually happens. But I'm not going to say anything more because that'll be spoiling it.
You've already done about 15 spoilers anyway.
No, this is literally spoiling the end of the movie.
I think I might have enjoyed it more than the first one,
Okay. That's quite impressive for a second movie in a series.
Yeah. It was very easygoing. It was good. I thought it was all right.
Yeah. So,
and Ghostbusters Afterlife's just hit Sky, so I might have actually watched that. That's the one that everyone hated because it had women in it.
Oh, I like that movie.
Ghostbusters.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if you get past the sort of like, oh my God, what have they done to my Ghostbusters?
They're not the Ghostbusters.
They're not the Ghostbusters, but
Not the old
for
ones.
some
Not
reason,
the real Ghostbusters from the cartoon either.
no. Yeah, it's all right. Melissa McCarthy tends to usually deliver as much as I keep expecting her not to. She usually does, and yeah, it's not bad. It's not a terrible movie. Have anybody seen the newest Ghostbuster movie?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Unless that is the latest one. It's got what's his name in it? Ant-Man.
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that the most recent one, or is that the last?
That's the
most
That's the
recent
most recent one. Yeah, it was directed by Ivan Reitman's son.
All right, it's got girls in it, so I didn't see Melissa McCarthy in it though. So
no, that was the other one.
Stuff. Right, okay.
Yeah,
I've not seen that one either.
That was Ghostbusters Answer the Call. Oh, you haven't seen that one?
No, I've not seen any of the new stuff.
Oh, that's worth a watch. Yeah.
Not because I don't like women. It's just because I haven't watched the film.
Women love you.
I don't think they do.
That's why they call you LL Neil. LL Neil J. LL Neil I.
Major L, more like.
All right, let's move on to what we've been playing then. Dave, do you want to go first?
He's disappeared. Have you not see the camera?
No, I'm reading the notes. Okay. Neil, you better crack on then.
Right. Okay. Well, I have continued with playing Halo Infinite multiplayer. I've been losing my shit playing Last Spartan Standing. Because there's an event. What do they call it? They call it an event, a limited time event running. Excuse me. For 2 weeks, it finishes on Tuesday. Where there's like a 10 mini battle pass type thing where you unlock stuff if you complete the challenges. So I've been doing that, and it's like I've said, it's like a mini battle royale. Where there's 12 of you. 12 people start the game, you get 5 lives each, and every time you get killed you get some XP, you level up. When you level up you get given different weapons, and if you lose all 5 lives and get killed, then you're out. It's okay. It's only on the one map. But it's fucking annoying because it feels like everyone playing that game is fucking amazing now. And I swear, people playing with controllers feel like the aim assist quite strong. Because like some of the quests I have are like you've got to kill people with headshots, and it's fucking quite hard on the mouse and keyboard to just like nail people with headshots. Like consistently. Especially with the pistol to start with, which is what you start with, a pistol and like the energy pistol. So to get headshots with those two is quite tricky. It's not until you get good few levels up that you get like a battle rifle when you can start pinging people in the head quite easily. But yeah, so I've never got to the battle rifle. But
when's their battle royale game?
I don't know. There's supposedly a company, Certain Affinity, are supposedly working on the battle royale version. I don't know when it's due, but this is like a I don't know, a battle royale light, I guess. It's all right. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. I want to plug the controller in and see how it goes. See if I get a bit more assist with that. If I can stop, because you can see the people who are playing with controllers when they spin, like when they turn, like it's consistent speed. Because you can watch people when you feel dead,
right,
and you can see obviously when they turn, it's like a consistent speed of turning, and like their perfect circle, like they're spinning in. When you can't do that with a mouse unless you've got a fucking 8 foot long desk where you just like run your mouse for fucking ever right to the right.
Right.
So it's like, oh, they're clearly using a controller, and they just absolutely rinsed me. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some experimenting, I think. But at the same time, I'm getting a little tired of dying a lot. But then I go into a normal game of Halo, and I'm quite competitive. But playing this mode, it's just fucking hard. But yeah, enough of that. What else have I been? Okay, I play some VR. I don't know why, but I decided to bust out the Quest.
Very
and
good.
I played because I bought a game a while ago for 99 pence because I had credit and it was on sale. Walkabout Mini Golf was on for sale, and like I said, I had £8 credit and it cost me 99 pence total. So I bought that, and it's as good as you've already heard people say about it, I guess.
Yeah, I've heard people big it up before.
It's a little bit weird because it's only like you use one hand to do the putting instead of having like two hands, like obviously that aren't actually attached. We normally like two hand putt, unless you're weird. But it's not perfect because I find it a little bit like massively disorientating in my room, like because you turn in this way and that, and then you're walking a couple of steps here and that to try and get into the right position. And then I'm on a mat when I'm playing VR, or a rug, not a mat. But when I get to the edge, obviously I can feel like I've gone off the edge of the rug, and I know that my rug's quite near my sofas on two sides, and then on another side it's quite near the window, and the other side's near the wall, and in between the wall and the window, in the corner of that, is my TV. So I'm a bit concerned, like I've completely lost my orientation of where I am in the room. I just go off the mat and I'm like, right, am I near the TV? I don't really want to twat my TV.
So you're on edge
So
because of that.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but it's got that like you push the right stick, turn the right stick right and left to rotate, and you can actually physically walk around. But obviously when you've hit the ball, it's gone fucking quite a long way, so you can't walk around to the fucking where the ball is. So you pull the right trigger and it like teleports you to the ball.
Right.
But sometimes, like I find it's often not facing where I'd like it to be facing when I've teleported, and so I physically move rather than you probably use the turn on the stick. It's probably just me being a bit of an idiot. Also, wearing glasses and VR, it's not a great mix, I've got to be honest. Because I've got the spacer for the Quest 2, that means you're supposed to be able to wear your glasses. Because I've got varifocals as well, it's fucking just annoying. Like, I find stuff out of focus so often, and like the other day I'm playing this game, and there's like something come up at the top of the screen. So I look up, but I'm not really looking at it. So I look up, physically move my head, but it keeps moving up. So I'm fucking like looking up at the ceiling, trying to look at this thing, and it just keeps moving out of my way. And I'm like, oh, it's just fucking annoying. Because if I had all normal eyes with no fucking glasses on, I'd just be able to look at it, and it would be all right because I'd just move my eyes. But I'm having to move because when you've worn glasses, you fucking realise you have to move your whole fucking head to fucking see things because your glasses don't really work unless you're looking straight at it. And especially like varifocals, you have to look through the bottom of your glasses for stuff that's up close. That's the way mine are. And then like through the main bit for normal vision. Yes, it's just fucking annoying. So I dug out.
The VR experience for me though. Like,
well, it's just fucking annoying.
Well, no, yeah. Well, I mean, like even something, like these games are good games. Yeah, they're good. The games are good. They can be as good as you like. They can be like Half-Life Alyx. People say it's one of the best games around at the moment. That's okay, but the experience of playing it is not the best gaming experience. Like that's the problem I have with VR.
I think like the jumping around doing fitness games are good for VR. Like Beat Saber, things like that, they're great for VR. But I have to think. Like I did buy ages ago for my Rift some specific lenses that fit inside my Rift headset that were just for my VR, that would correct my vision for VR, and it cost me like 60 odd quid. And that company's still going. They do Quest 2 ones, but they're like, inflation. They're like, it's fucking like 70 quid for a fucking pair of lenses.
Right. Mark in the chat says, "How would you fix VR?" I think VR will fix itself. Just the technology. It's just too early. I just feel like
fucking refocus based on. Can you put a prescription into the VR that it fucking sorts your lenses out?
Well, surely there should be a software fix.
Like a software fix for like people who can't see properly.
Yeah. Why not?
Which is
Probably, then.
probably quite
Yeah,
a lot of people who play video games have got poor eyesight, I'm guessing. Maybe if they don't want to admit it. But
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I mean, the technology has to evolve so everything becomes smaller and lighter. That's my big issue with most of it. I think honestly, I still see the Quest and put the Quest on every now and then, and I'm like, this is just amazing. Like, it seriously is an amazing piece of kit, but it's got a long way to go.
Yeah, I think VR is going to turn more into AR or augmented reality, and it will, yeah, you'll
not
play
be
the
fun.
games inside the space that you're in, and the game will be part of the space that you're in, and the game will be tailored to that and set its boundaries and yeah. So like with this, for example, with this golf game, you'll play golf in a space that you've got, and yeah, you'll teleport to the ball, but the ball will be simulated on the floor that you're on in such a way. So yeah, I don't think there'll be anything.
I don't really
think
want to
VR.
play mini golf in my lounge. So.
No, but that's what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't want to be able to see my lounge while I'm playing it.
I think it will.
I mean, at that point, you might as well just go to the garage and get your putter, right?
Yeah. Or
well, yeah.
Mark says, what games lend themselves to VR? I think Neil was onto that already with saying Beat Saber. I really enjoyed actually poker and roulette, just sitting at the table, not having to do anything physical.
I'd love to do that, but it's so uncomfortable wearing the glasses. Yeah. Or I can take my glasses off and cope, but then I just get mad headaches. Right. Because of my eyes are fucking stuck to fucking screens.
Yeah, so you come back round again to the uncomfortableness of it. I can't play it for too long either. But it's,
it is physically demanding on you. Elite, I liked Elite in VR. That was a really good game. Yeah, anything I played standing up or having to move around, I didn't really enjoy.
I like that part of it. The whole sort of I'm not being a lazy slob while I'm playing a video game is fucking somewhat appealing.
I didn't play it wireless, so I only had the wired.
I mean, the best experience I've had, despite like the VR games like Beat Saber is fun, and the table tennis game is fucking brilliant. This is a great game. Like I say, I have got my own personal problems with it because of my eyes, but fucking motor racing is just the best thing in VR. Because especially like with the steering wheel, I've said it before, and it's the closest thing you'll probably ever get to doing it for real. If you had a motion sensor, motion seat, and all that shit, it would you would probably think you were fucking doing it. It's mental.
Right.
Like the experience, it literally feel like you're in the car, and everywhere you look, obviously, like it literally feels like you're driving a car. So that is still the ultimate. But like when I played it, the resolution wasn't that great because I was playing it on my old Rift. So you can see you're still, it's not quite there. But if it was like a super high resolution, like 120 frames or whatever, your PC going fucking ballistic trying to keep up. That would be awesome. But I don't know if I had contact lenses. If I had contact lenses, I might be all right. I don't know. But yeah, having glasses, it's a fucking ball ache. And it's just painful. Physically painful, basically, to do it. So I'm like, I just can't be arsed with it anymore.
Right.
Which is a shame. Good job it only cost me 99p for that game.
Yep.
I'm sure they'll sell me another £8 in credit soon, because I haven't spent any fucking for ages. So anyway, good game. I can't play it.
How was you at potting ball?
I mean, see, it feels like you're playing golf.
Ball.
It feels good. It's a good representation of actual crazy golf.
That's not what he asked you. He said, "How did you get on with it?"
How was
I parred the first
course? Was you at putt ball?
I parred the first one. I got a few shots where it's exceeded holes, but there was a few that I did alright. Then I did it again, and I was plus 18. So There's stupid things like you wallop the ball and it goes out of bounds. You're like, bollocks. And then it respawns the ball below next to your feet. And so you move your hands to move the putter into the right
You
place.
knock
And you
it,
twat the
don't-
ball again. You're like, fuck's sake. So yeah,
Your
it's a bit like real golf.
That doesn't count, does it? Your mates go, yes, it fucking does.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, but yeah, I'd like to be able to play it and not physically hurt myself while I'm doing it. So, but there we go. What else have I been playing? I played 2 more games. Played a little game on Game Pass called Trek to Yomi. I don't know if you've heard anyone else talk about this. Been on a couple of podcasts.
Game Pass, but I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, so it's a samurai game in the style of a movie, like, was it Kurosawa, the black and white samurai movies? Super atmospheric, real fucking good in that sense. Like, it starts off and it's basically playing a cutscene, and then you take over, and you're like, oh, I'm actually playing this character, and it just like then blends into the gameplay. Most of the game is sort of side-on scroller, but there are areas where it just changes the camera angle when you walk into the screen. Like that, it's just done that on screen now, and it's very simple combat. Basically, it gets slightly more complicated as you go through the game. You get more unlocks, but you have like a block button. So the idea, and you can see that there's like a glint on when the enemies attack, which if you time it right, you'll parry their attack and they'll be staggered, and you can hit them a lot easier. And then as you go through, there's harder enemies that have got armor and stuff like that. So you need to heavy attack them to break their armor or break their shields and stuff. I've not got that far. I've got to a point where I keep dying, which is quite annoying. There's a stamina part as well. So when you're blocking, you'll be using your stamina, and when you're attacking, you're using stamina. If you run out of stamina, you can't attack, you can't block. There is an easy mode. You can stick it on like story mode. Apparently, you have to be super shit at the game to still fail at this level. But it's got it all in Japanese with English subtitles. There's no alternative, I don't think, to that. And you get like all the menus like Japanese with like English translations next to it. It's really fucking cool and atmospheric, all black and white. But I don't know if I'll get to finish it. So
it's brilliant, but
it's like the combat's not amazing. Like as a game, it's not the best game, but it is pretty cool. Like I say, the atmosphere and the story and stuff like that is really cool. It's really nicely done, and it feels like you're playing in a movie. I've not watched the old Seven Samurai and all that sort of shit, but it's that vibe. All like, but it's all, like I say, it's all black and white, but you get like little film grain effects going. Literally, like they made it look as much like a movie as possible. So it is really cool. But
you don't have like the red blood stains or anything.
There's no like when you there's blood spray, but it's all black and white.
Right.
Still black,
okay.
but it just goes like Kill Bill, but it's just black and white.
Right.
But so it is really, really cool. But I've not heard anyone say, yeah, you should really play it till the end. But I'll try to play it to the end, because I don't think it's only like 4 or 5 hours long. It's not that long.
Wow.
So, but it is like a cool story.
Has it got like big cutscenes or?
I wouldn't say big, but like the idea is you start the game as a kid, well, as a teenager, I suppose, learning to be a samurai basically from your sensei, and something kicks off in the village. He goes off, and then you go off. Like your possibly girlfriend comes along and says something or other. They have a chit chat, and she's like, "Oh, you should go and see what he's gone." He's like, "He told me to stay here." Blah blah blah. And you always do what your master says and all that shit. But he fucks off. And that's how you learn the game as the kid. You like start fighting with the enemy. You've had a little fight with your sensei to learn that, with like wood swords to learn the combat, and then you pick up a real sword and you go through the village and try and find your master and all that shit. And like I say, the story's cool. It starts off really cool. I'm not sure how much the combat's gonna,
How much
keep
the
you going.
gameplay is going to
It's
keep you going.
Yeah, it's not. If you want to see the end, it'll be more about like seeing the end of the story rather than this game's really cool to play. And the combat's really decent and stuff like that. So
I'll download
but
it. Magic.
it is cool. It is cool. And then the last game I played, a couple of 2 to 3 hours of this week, is a free-to-play game. Ooh, we like free-to-play. It's on PlayStation. It's definitely on PS5. I don't know about PS4 and PC. There's a bit of a... If you've been on Twitch recently, you've probably seen it on the front page. It's called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt. Lots of people playing it. There's a big charity event going on, I think, at the moment. And it is Vampire Battle Royale. It's really quite cool. I like it.
I thought it was a role-playing game.
There is Vampire the Masquerade is a role-playing game. Yes, you're correct. This is a spin-off. So the Masquerade...
Right. I had no idea this was
a...
Right.
Yeah, this is completely spun off from like that thing. The Masquerade is obviously like, not is like walking around in public, but without letting everyone know you're a vampire. That's the Masquerade.
Yeah.
Oh, clever. Is the one with the guys wiping the blood off his lips? Vampire the Masquerade.
I don't know. Possibly. So yeah, it's a very weird concept, I guess, to have this battle royale.
See Lord in the chats, but
the
double bean
the two sick emojis.
Vampire Battle Royale.
It sounds fucking ridiculous, and it is quite ridiculous. Like you're running around picking up guns. It's a bit Fortnite-y, I guess, because you're third person only, and all the guns spin out and they're all colored and stuff like that. I'm a bit bemused sometimes at what I'm doing. Stuff. It's all a bit early days for me. I'm learning still.
I downloaded it though, so I should play it.
We should. It is fun. It is definitely fun, and there's some really cool like mechanics that aren't in most other battle royale games. Like there's normal people walking around on the streets, the civilians, and you can scan. Press X on the PC. You scan a local area, and it will reveal some of the civilians who've got special blood types, and if you feed on them, then you'll gain extra abilities. It's fucking absolutely bonkers. But
is there any garlic? Lord says don't eat garlic.
Well, I haven't seen any garlic yet. But there's multiple types of vampire that you can. So there are like basically classes of how to play, and they have different abilities. Some like my guy that I've been playing as. I've just played with one guy to start with. It's like the basic. He's called Brutus or something. He's got like a big super jump. Like he leaps forward really far. It's all set in Prague. I don't know how realistic a representation it is of actual Prague it is, but you're running around fucking scaling up walls. Like you can run up the walls. It's absolutely fucking crazy, but it's actually really quite good fun. I've only played it on my own. There is a solo mode. There's duos and trios.
I'm coming in. We'll play a game.
So
yeah. And I guess there's all the whole list, like learning the map and stuff like that. You need to get good. Like there's little places you can open the backs of ambulances and you pick up like blood bags, which is like how you get health back and shit like that.
That could be the way. Sorry, Dave, go on.
I was going to say, do you get knocked and can you sort of pick yourself up?
Yeah, so obviously there's other guys. There's other vampires. Yeah, there's two duos and trios. There's other vampires around, which are the ones you've got to beat to win. But at the same time, like I say, there's all these passive civilians around that you can feed on, and like you can feed on them to like restore your health if you've been hit and stuff like that. There's also another faction of AI walking around called the Entity, and they're like vampire killers. Like they're all fucking suited up with armor, and their job in the narrative, whatever game, I guess, is like they come and kill vampires. And there's areas of the map. They're computer controlled.
Okay.
So they're like it's like PvEVP, I guess, is what they say, isn't it?
Right.
So they've got these factions. They control several areas of the map, and you could go in there, kill all these guys, and then they've got like high level loot that you can pick up, like better guns and shit like that.
Mate, that sounds so much like Haven. Like, it sounds really odd to say it, but did you play Haven on PUBG?
No,
Because
not
that
really.
was the small map they brought in. But every time you were mentioning some of these mechanics, it's the same sort of thing. Like that is one of the PUBG maps that has a helicopter flying above, which highlights you, and then it also has like an armored car that's going down the streets, which will fire at you. So you basically can be killed by other things. And then they also have loot houses that have commanders and other guys. And if you take those, you can get higher loot and stuff like that. So it's like you can see the basic game type is there, right? Very similar.
I mean, you are really agile in this game. Like, you're running along. Like I say, you can literally run up vertical walls because you're a fucking vampire who does crazy shit.
So how do they do the battle royale part?
Well, you just got to kill all the other humans. Human controlled vampires. So
they
there's
do like a map shrinking, or like
there is a gas that comes in. I assume it's garlic gas. I don't know.
No, yeah, not mustard gas, garlic gas.
But so the death mechanic is like, if you obviously you have to shoot the other guys. So when you shoot them or you get shot, you go down and you crawl in. You've got then survive 20 seconds. If you survive 20 seconds crawling around, then you respawn. No, you come back up. You literally come back up where you are.
Do you rise like
you rise from
a coffin?
No, awesome. I don't think there's a coffin. There's probably it's the battle pass, so there's probably a fucking thing that if you pay, then you probably find all that shit because it's free to play. So all that shit's coming.
Awesome. I swear. When you get res, you come out.
There is a Nosferatu class. There's a fucking like the Brute class. Then there's like the fucking they're called the Sirens. So they're all super sexy and like they can like basically make all the normal humans ignore them. Sort of ignore. They could like, because if you feed on one of the civilians, and there's other civilians in the area, they'll all be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And everyone on the map knows where you are. So it's like a blood hunt starts and you become visible to everyone on the fucking map. There's fucking tons of stuff going on. Like,
all right. I'm in.
What was the other? So yeah, you survive your 20 seconds. You spring back up where you are, but you've got low health. If you die, you can die once in the game, and then you will respawn somewhere on the map, random, or fairly near where you died, I think. And then that's your last chance. If you knock someone down, you can run up to them. You can just shoot them to death, but you can also do this thing called diablerizing them. It takes a long time, but you basically pick them up and you just fucking like feed on them, and you gain all your health back. And fucking like, I think you become a bit more extra powered for a little while afterwards. So yeah, it is fucking stupid, but it's really cool at the same time. It's really good fun.
So what was the first game then? Where did this come out of?
Vampire the Masquerade was a RPG. A really highly respected, I think. It's not particularly well known, but people like it's really good. Supposedly, I've never played it.
It takes a lot of lore from a lot of different genre books and films, and pulls it up. I don't know. It's like 100 or 150 different influences of vampire stories, history, lore, all that, and pulls it into this one game on different families, how they like. Neil, you said about I can't even say it, diabolizing, which is basically killing a higher vampire and taking its essence, its skills, its everything like that, and then it uses a ranking system of I don't even know who's at the top, bloody Dracula, maybe, whatever. That's completely wrong. I think in the lore it's Cain, like one of the brothers of or sons of what's it called? What's it? Adam and Eve, one of the sons of Adam
Yeah.
and Eve, Cain, was the first vampire apparently, and then Successions is second level, third level, and yeah, it basically a history of everything about vampirism. And yeah, I've played. Well, I'm not sure if I know I've watched a lot of YouTube channels about this game, specifically just about like what it is, how it is, and how everything fits into it. But yeah, so like this is a really like when you started playing it yesterday, I was like, oh, you're playing that? That's great. I'm thinking you were getting into the RPG and getting into everything. The
Well,
fact that
there is
you're
a new one
talking
coming
about
out. A new RPG
Right.
is coming out. I think it's Blood Song. I think it's called.
Okay.
Or is it something Song? But that is coming out later on this year, I think. There is like a sequel RPG coming.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should. Or like I say, I know a lot of people have said how good the old game is, but I don't know how old it is.
I'm not sure.
But
4 or 5 years, I think, maybe.
But yeah, I am impressed with this. It's the very. It looks super nice. It's really it runs real nice. It's like solid 60 frames, running really sweet. From that point of view, and it's like I say, it's a whole load of fun. It is fucking completely stupid and bonkers, but you know.
No, it does sound good actually. It does sound fun. Yeah. And that's on what are you playing it for?
But I'm playing on PC. It is available definitely on PS5. I'm not sure if it's on PS4. I've just see people with PlayStation logos in the game, so it's cross-platform as well.
I've got it downloaded from Steam, so get it downloaded. Dave, we'll go in and have a
yeah.
A
yeah, it'll be fun.
Just leave the garlic at home.
Hey. Okay. Anything else?
That's me done.
Okay. I can run through these. I have Grid and Dirt on here. I downloaded Grid 3. No.
Grid Legends.
No. Hang on a second. I've got that completely wrong. I can't get these. Which one's the one?
Grid Legends, which was on its EA trial, it's literally just come out.
Dirt 3, right? That's one of the
Dirt
recent
3?
ones. Isn't that one of the recent rally ones?
Dirt
right,
5 is the most recent one, which
Dirt
is on
5,
Game
and
Pass.
okay, that's the one then, right? Sorry,
Fucking hell, Jesus Christ!
Well, okay, this shows you my love affair with driving.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a long section. This is it.
No, but these, I'd never. I don't think I'd picked up or tried a dirt game for a long time. Maybe since the first one, right? I was like, you know what? I fancy something arcadey. I'll just download because my internet's really quick, so I can download stuff. I can play it. I've got suddenly a whole new. I can play shit in my library without having to wait long for it. So I thought, I'll try a driving game. Loaded up Dirt 5, and I saw it was Codemasters, and I was like, oh, it's Codemasters. That's cool because I know they have a good history and whatever. But then they got bought by EA or something, right?
Yeah, Dirt 5 is pre the EA buyout.
Well, it's not pre on Game Pass anything to do with EA because they've now got their mark all over it. And I had to scroll through pages and pages and pages of agreements or whatever. And then it wanted something else to scroll. And I just was like, you're done. Okay. Forget it. We're done. We're out of here. This is just ridiculous. Like you could just see it. I went in, even I from those years ago was just like, oh, here's a nice, Dirt Codemasters is quality. I know people like it. It's arcadey. And as soon as I got in there, it had that all that taint and dirty sniff of EA all over it. And I was like, fuck you. It's been one of those weeks. Then I went shopping, right? No.
Anyway, this is how you ended up with a fucking... You should have just played Tekken or something.
And, well... So I was like, fuck, I'm not... like, seriously, fuck you. I'm not playing you. And I thought, I'll try Grid. So it's another racing game. And I don't know. I don't... That was Codemasters as well, but the copy that downloaded off Steam had no EA stuff. I was straight into a game, it was no problem. But I just couldn't get to grips with playing a racing game, so that was a completely wasted venture. All fronts did nothing but really wind me up. I just haven't got it in me. There's a part of me that just feels like I'm really missing out on doing something racing. I've enjoyed racing games in the past, I suppose, is the point, right? It's like
what proper racing games.
I loved Gran Turismo, and I've played some of the Forza games, intensely. Forza 2. I love that game. Played tons of it. Right. So I guess I'm waiting for a racing game to come and grab me. I'm sort of having a fish around, just fishing, see if I could catch anything. And
You've got
no
Assetto
going in.
Corsa on PC.
I have a feeling though that I'm gonna.
You're not going to be very good.
I'm not going to be very good. It's going to annoy me.
It's got loads of assists on stuff though. You just you can find your happy place. They've all got like automatic gears, traction control systems, things like that to make it like you just got to find the happy place where it feels good, but you're not you don't want it super easy because then it's just fucking boring. It's got to be a challenge, but you don't want to just be completely spinning around in fucking circles all the time, or not even being able to put it in first gear. It's like how do I start the engine?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. I think next I might. I've been quite impressed with this pick up and play of the Series S, so I might put Forza Horizon 5 on that.
F121's on there. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, okay, that could be something different. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I might try that.
It is EA though, so you'll have to click through some. You'll have to accept some agreements.
I can't. I'm already done with Ubisoft as well. That's a whole other story. Like by the time I'm getting into that old man syndrome now, right? I'm gonna have it. So Ubisoft, I tried to uninstall Rainbow Six Siege from my machine.
No.
Which machine?
And from my PC.
Right.
And because it's on there, I don't know why it's on there. I haven't played
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't.
You have not played that game in a fucking long time.
And then it said we need to log you into your Ubisoft account to uninstall it, and then and it went, please check your Google Authenticator for the two-factor authentication to get in. Right. Problem is that was on my old work phone. But then it goes, if you haven't got the Google Authenticator, use one of the 6 codes. No, use one of the 6 codes that we sent you when you set up two-factor authentication. Now, I'm pretty good like that. No, I'm pretty good like that. I went into my password manager and I record them in there, and I had them there. And I went through all 6 and none of them worked. And I was just like, well, that's it. Like, what is that? Me and Ubisoft done then on PC? Like, can't get in unless and it says if you still have a problem, go through customer support. I'm not going to put myself through that. Right. It's not going to happen.
So can you not? You can't uninstall a game.
I would rather fuck that account out. I'm not really in any sort of. It doesn't bother. Honestly, it bothers me this much. And by anyone listening at home, it's a very tiny amount. Like if I can just fucking set up another Gmail account and have another Ubisoft account. Like if that was my Steam account, I'd be having kittens. If it was my Xbox account, I'd be having kittens.
Have you actually paid anything for your Ubisoft account? Have you actually paid any money out?
There's nothing. I can't imagine I'm missing anything. Right. So anyway.
So you said you were trying to uninstall it though. So can you not uninstall a game?
I went to uninstall it and it said we just need to start up Origin or whatever.
It's Ubisoft Connect or whatever.
Uplay, whatever.
No, it's Ubisoft Connect now. You're a bit out of date there on Uplay.
That's how old. That's the last time I.
You clearly haven't played Rainbow Six Siege in a long time either.
Nope.
So anyway, but that's funny that happened because then on the Series S, I'm playing Immortals Fenyx Rising, which is an Ubisoft, and every sort of half an hour, this thing pops up and goes, "You've earned Ubisoft Connect
points
something or other," and I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't know. Sure. Unless it's like an Xbox, when it's an Xbox achievement, I'm like, yes, inside me, I do a little happy dance. I'm like, fuck yeah, I got an achievement, right? Still, after all these years, to get a little achievement, it's like brilliant. The Ubisoft ones that pop up, I don't care.
You might be able to get a stupid skin in Rainbow Six Siege now, though.
Yeah, whatever.
Not anymore.
Or a e-comic.
The thing is, I'll set up a new account and they'll give me all that shit anyway. It's like, welcome, we value your customer. You being a customer so much, we're going to give you this dishwashing skin. Something. So anyway, Immortals Fenyx Rising. I continue to play that. So this is the third person. Let's just call it the Zelda Breath of the Wild ripoff. My son pretty much says it's a Breath of the Wild ripoff. So
It's nowhere near as good as Zelda Breath of the Wild, though, is it?
It's nowhere. Nothing is ever as good as Nintendo first party, right? Let's not make any pretenses. There have been hundreds of games that have tried to do similar sorts of things, and I remember there was a famous quote by a podcaster about 6 years ago. It was me, and and it was a quote that it was something I said that, but it still rings true. I think it's one of the sums it up really well, which is it's not that Zelda tells you everything that it does right. It's just when you realize when you're playing the other games, like what they do wrong, right? It's that's not the quote at all. I've completely screwed up.
It
I'll
really
go
rolls
back.
off the tongue,
It
though.
was, but it was something along those lines. It's what we say normally. It's just you realize when you're playing the other games what Zelda does so much better, right? It's not, but they're still good games. But you just realize, fuck, like the climbing mechanic. You're like the climbing is really good, and it does exactly what I need the climbing to do in this game. But it's just not quite as
It's not
dialed in.
satisfying.
It's just not as dialed in. It's got you press B when you jump and then you pull your wings out and then you soar and can glide all over the place, exactly like the glider in Zelda. It works. I can get everywhere I need to go, but it's just not quite as good, right? It's nowhere near as good. It just doesn't feel as tight. Nothing feels as tight. But that being said, there's tons of stuff to do in it. The characters are starting to warm themselves to me. I've seen them enough that I've begun to like them. I like the narration. The narration is by, I'm not sure who it is, but it's two gods or something. They're sitting there talking back and forth, but they're like old guys. They have a bit of bants, right? And that's
The
all
guys
mixed
off
in.
the Muppets.
It's like the guys off the Muppets sort of thing. So that's pretty good. Like I pick up and play, and like I easily pick up and sit and lose an hour to it. And the map, there's tons of stuff on the map to do, tons of things you find. There seems like loads of dungeons. I've got dungeons coming out my ears, or their versions of the dungeons anyway. But lots of things. It's good. It's good. Like I think if it scratches the Zelda itch, like I've said before, which I'm enjoying, and the pick up and play really helps, just being able to get straight into it and just continue where I left off. The fact it fucking runs on a machine that I can sit on my sofa is worth a lot. But that being said, something screwed up with the save. Like I don't know what it was last week, but every time I loaded the map and went over a certain icon on the map, the whole thing just crashed. And it didn't matter how many saves back I went. It didn't matter how many times I reloaded it. Crash.
Wow.
And so the only thing I could do today was I just avoided using the map. Like I brought the map up, but I didn't move my cursor on it, which was every time I moved my cursor on the map, it crashed. So I was bringing the map up, but I wasn't using the cursor. So I don't know if it's fixed or not. So it's a bit shitty for a console release. That's happening.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to find anything. Not that I've looked too deep, but I didn't see any fixes or anybody saying anything. But anyway, I played like a few more hours today and it didn't crash. But not that I did the thing to make it crash. Yeah, so it's good. I actually really like it. I really like it. The more I play it, the more I'm enjoying it. The fighting's good. I did knock the difficulty down. I started on hard. I had to knock the difficulty down to normal, just because the fights were just taking too long. Like I just knew like these fights, like 10 minutes to beat like not even a major or a minor plot boss. Just a big guy that you meet in a field. It was like I can't keep getting slowed down by 10-minute fights against a bear.
Well, you want to progress, don't you?
Yeah, I do want to progress.
Yeah.
So the normal difficulty is pretty good. I think it's staged in such a way that I've come across either it's I haven't completely worked out whether it's boosting the difficulty as I get better, or I've actually just not been afraid to take the big fights that you find because it's open world. Like I found a place just before I started the podcast where there's the legendary boss. There's this rooster. Spoiler. It's this rooster. Like first of all, you just hear it going crowing in the background and stuff like that. And then the guys who narrate the story start going on about this like legendary Brewster that kicks the shit out of people, and you're like, okay. It's almost like Zelda, right? In the chickens and stuff. But I just went and took it on, and you know, it probably took a good 5 to 10 minutes to fight it. There's a lot of wars of attrition I've been fighting, where, you know, like I'm just taking my time, pelting with arrows. You know, I've been leveling up because I'm leveling up all my stuff in the background. So I've got like the arrows that are doing more damage and multipliers for headshots and things like that. Yeah, lots of wars of attrition, standing back for some of the bigger bosses and taking my time and whatever. But yeah, the more I talk about it and think about that, now I've got all the level ups, the power ups. I found the Hall of the Gods where you do all your own leveling up. And you can make potions to help you fight in battle. So actually, I've played quite a lot of it, and yeah, I'm in pretty deep. So that's good. And then it suddenly will stop, and you'll have puzzles to solve, which is nice. Like, I really like that. Yeah, available on all good consoles. I highly recommend it. I'm enjoying it.
How much did you get that for? You got that cheap, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was $25. Not much at all.
Ubisoft games usually come like a month after they come out, are always half price.
Yeah. So I picked it up for like 75% off, which was which was a great deal. It was a fucking brilliant deal, considering I woke up that morning and went, I want to play this game. Oh my god, it's 75% off. Job done. Right? That was and I'm still playing it. And it wasn't that I played it for an hour and went, oh, this is shit. So good.
It's not like you, is it?
No, it's not. So that's a proper result. And then going back to the when we're talking about the racing games and me trying to get my fix of something, I then downloaded Pinball FX 3 because I think a couple of weeks ago I'd heard
this is on the Xbox as well, is it?
This is on Steam,
right?
And I heard somebody a couple of weeks ago talking about the new Indiana Jones table was released, and it's pretty expensive. And then the guys were saying,
this was on the CADcast, wasn't it?
Well, it might have been, yeah. And then they were saying, yeah, but you have to understand, like, there's all the licensing there. It's all like the quotes from the films and everything like that. And so as a standalone, somebody who's a big fan of A, pinball, and B, Indiana Jones, I think it's reasonable. I don't think it's outrageous.
You didn't buy the fucking £25 Indiana Jones table.
No, I didn't. No.
No,
it's not that much. No, it's not. It's like about $10, right? And to be honest,
well, you still didn't buy that, did you?
I didn't buy it, no, because I've got a load of tables already, and I hadn't played it for a long time. So it's like, I'll just play the
I think I recall they have a conversation about people were moaning because they were picking it up on a Series XS PS5, and you were now having to pay for games that you'd already paid for.
Right.
Because like you'd bought them on a PS3. Okay. And they're like, well, at what point is it acceptable now to make you pay money again for the same thing you bought? Because it's now 2 generations on. It's taken a shitload of work and money to make it look fucking amazing on those new consoles versus what it looked like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I think that was a conversation I recall being had.
And it's not an ethical conversation, is it? It's totally a financial conversation. If these companies are continuing with the games as a service, where you're always going to be pumping money in, then it's not like anyway.
I think if they were upfront about it and saying, okay, right, to bring the upgraded map that you've already paid for across, but you need to pay. We understand you've paid already, and there's a license.
It's like they should have a shit version of the game that you can still play, or you can pay like $5, and here's the fucking new fucking shiny version of the game that you always played, but now it looks absolutely insanely good.
I think that would be a fair thing. Like, honestly, like if they said, right, you can play the game in the old spec that you paid for originally, or you can pay X amount of money, $5 to have a HD upgraded 60 frames per second. As long as it's a conversation that they present and not just
whether that's technically possible, I don't know. Like to have the PS3 version particularly running on the PS5.
No. What they could do is they could do a crap version that's not the PS3
Yeah.
version, but it's just a low res, 23 frames per second. An odd number just to piss everybody off. And then like give them that version if they've already got a license for it, or paid for that version. Yeah, that but rather than just say no, you can't play it, like your existing purchases does not work on this one. I can see why people get pissed off about that.
Yeah, I can see why they're pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially the same game. So whatever.
Anyway, but being on Steam, I still have all my tables, and I was playing through a couple of them. Fishtails, I was playing mostly because that's like a table I used to really love back in the day. And then I was like, I was looking over and I was like, I've got another monitor here on the side. I was like, this, as it always happens with this pinball game, I'm like, this pinball game is brilliant, but really it needs to be like
vertical
portrait mode. He's doing that yawning thing. It needs to be portrait mode, right? Well, it has to be. How much you cannot see because of landscape against, and you're trying to play a vertical game. It's just crazy. And so I was sort of looking around in the settings and seeing, how could I make this happen? And I realized, I could just easily turn my monitor vertical and play it. It's how do I do that? It's like, you can't do this. You have to apply to Pinball FX for a code to unlock the ability to turn it vertical.
Really?
Called cabinet mode. So you have to contact them, and they want to know. They want you to tell them that you're not going to use it for commercial use and provide a level of proof that you're going to be using it.
Wow.
Here's my dodgy monitor sat next to my computer.
So I was like, okay, fair enough. It said here, click here, send a message to here. Do you intend to use this? No. And can you send us a picture showing us your setup or whatever? Like, yep. So I took a picture of my setup, or actually I took a picture of Stan's PC because he has the vertical monitor, and sent that over to them. And said, yeah, I'm thinking possibly of a cabinet build, but it's definitely for residential use only or whatever. And it's like, yeah, here you go. Here's a code. And so now I entered the code and bang.
So you went to that hassle, but you couldn't fucking bother to get to Ubisoft.
Yeah, well, look, Pinball FX. Yeah, I don't know.
That is quite a high level of.
Time.
Yeah. It's just.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it took no time for them to email me back. Like it was done in business hours. No worries, right? In a day, less than a day.
I wonder how much. I suppose they must worry about it being used in commercial use a lot. I guess I don't know. I'm not up with.
Yeah, I think so.
Arcades and.
Yeah, I mean, video. Let's call them video pinball. There's a thriving, community of enthusiasts who build tables and whatnot. I'm out to lunch on whether not out to lunch, but whatever. I'm just I'm not convinced of video pinball, but actually in a pinch, video pinball has its place. It doesn't replace pinball to me. So I wouldn't. I'm not sure whether a dedicated cabinet. I'm trying to work out whether I could do a small, easy cabinet or something. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I did play in vertical mode. I did turn my monitor. It's just a world of difference. I can see the whole table, right? And it's
there's no camera movement or at all, or is there?
No, you can still have they've still got like about 4 or 5 different camera modes that work, but you can set it to no camera, which is just that's what I wanted, right? Just taking up as much of the screen real estate as possible.
Yeah.
Cranked up the sound or whatever, got it going, and it's good, right? And then I was like, okay, well, what actually, playing with the pad is okay. Wonder about whether maybe somebody does make these like
buttons,
a wooden cabinet, but you could make one, right? A wooden cabinet with some buttons.
Just get 2 controllers
with a bit of heft and be the wizard, right?
No, you just use two controllers.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I think it's
Probably.
untested. They've done a half cabinet, which is the front end with the buttons and the plunger, and then a monitor, sort of. So you got the static wooden cabinet with the buttons and the plunger, and then a monitor up, vertical. So you're still looking at a monitor like on a desk, but you've got like a half cabinet, the front end of the cabinet with the buttons and the that did look quite good. But yeah, it's only like 8 inches.
Yeah, it
12
seems
inches.
all doable. I mean, I've looked into like some of the home. There's other software or whatever that runs pinball tables that have been cloned or whatever. I'm not sure how above board all of that is. I can't remember now. It's a long time ago.
Not very.
And it works, but it's there's a lot of work to get it working, right? Whereas this was just like, yeah, here you go. Here's the code phrase. Now, and I've put the code in and like, bingo, there it goes. Like, I think I could take that monitor. I've got a 27-inch monitor next to me here that I don't use for anything. That I could probably just lay this here, plug it in, and then hit the graphics mode, and then you would have the main monitor here that I was laying in front of me as the table. And then you can have the back plate on the other monitor. Like, I could probably have that set up in 5 or 10 minutes if I understand all this.
Sounds a bit more hassle than VR, to be honest.
Yeah, but once you're playing, it's not bad. Like, VR is uncomfortable, right?
You could probably play really cool pinball in VR because you'd just be looking up and there wouldn't be night.
Yeah, maybe.
I think there is there is Pinball FX in VR.
I don't know. So anyway, that was really cool. So yeah, I'm going to play a little bit more pinball.
Oh, we've had the results in.
Oh, okay. We'll have a quick break before we do Dave's bit then for the Euro results. Are they all in?
Apparently, we've been informed. It is late enough. The UK came second. So you both fucked up.
Oh yeah.
The Ukraine won, surprise. We got 466 points. And the Ukraine got them 631. Thanks, MS Rangers. So I guess I won. Despite being nowhere near.
All right. Well, congratulations, Neil.
And Ukraine, obviously.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, so that's me, Pinball FX. I might have some more on that next week.
I used to like playing pinball.
Oh, yeah. Dave.
Hello.
Did you play any games?
I did. Not many.
Do you remember talking? Do you remember how to talk?
Yeah, I've been drinking since 4, so.
All right, we can wrap up. As soon as you're done, we can wrap. I've got kids stomping about upstairs.
Slay the Spire. I've been playing some more of that. I've finished Act 3, which is the last boss that you can get to on your first character. And I beat him. I beat him last night.
Nice.
And I was very happy. Although I beat him, I beat the boss called Donu and Dino and Decker.
Right.
Dinu. I don't know. Two different entities. Smashed them. I was playing an attack heavy build. That I got rid of all my defense, and all my cards were either 0 expenditure or double tap or recycled cards back onto my deck. And my card, I had about 8 or 9 cards. So basically, I was just recycling all my cards, every single thing, and I smashed him with loads of health. It was just I got really lucky. with being able to clear all of my crap starting cards, all of my defense cards. I did get a few randoms in there, but I managed to clear some skills and stuff. But yeah, just attack all the way, and that was on the first character.
Nice.
How would you survive long enough with no defense cards?
You literally just one-shot most enemies on the first turn. I ended up with about 6 attack on the first turn, and then depending on which relics I had, I either had 4 or 5 sort of attack action points, and a lot of the cards that I was pulling, because I had one card that was pulling saying pull random attacks for 0, and yeah, it was literally just smashing through them. Yeah, it was. Once you get the cards right and you know what sort of build you're going for.
Like, I get to ones like the enemy says like it's going to do like 4 times 20 damage, and I'm like, well, that's just going to kill me.
Yeah, but you've done him in by that point. Dave smashed the shit out of him by that point.
Yeah, I took one of the relics that got an extra action point that didn't tell me what they were doing, because I knew I was just going all attack. It didn't matter what they were doing. It's like I just had to like full on do as much damage as quickly as possible. And there's a few times I had to rest, but most of the times I was going through, I was actually just upgrading my cards, and I had a relic that had additional health regen on top of my standard character regen anyway. So I was like regenning like 12, 15 points of health after each battle. So, and the fact that I was one-shotting a lot of the characters anyway, a lot of these encounters, I was actually gaining health after each encounter.
Right.
Yeah, it was just the stars aligned. I got some really good drops. Got rid of the cards that I needed to get rid of. And yeah, I had like relics that gave me shields if I didn't play any shield cards, but because I didn't have any shield cards, I'd always end up with like 6 shield, and then I had another relic that gave me an additional 6 reinforced armor. So yeah, I got the right relics, I got the right cards, managed to clear the right cards, and yeah, did them both. They both had 300 health. It took a few goes to go through them, but yeah, I saved up all my decent potions. And yeah, double tap and Berserk, I think it is, that keeps, every time you use it, it increases its attack power by 8. So with double tap, it added an additional 8 damage on top of my first damage. So yeah, it just wrecked them. Just
nice.
Yeah. I went upgraded to double tap that actually it attacked twice for 2 cards, and I had two of these big.
Yeah. That's when the stackings stackings start happening. That's I've never been very successful at a bludgeoning build like that. I wouldn't mind going and trying that actually.
Yeah, it's just so satisfying. just
go in and beast everything.
Yeah, like coming up against like just standard enemies or sub bosses, with 100 health, and just going through them. I don't know why, it just felt like all the right cards were falling at the right times.
Yeah.
I was getting the ones that added vulnerability, then I was getting 0-point cards, and then I was getting double tap, and then I was getting these like headbutt that pulled cards back from my expired cards. And because I had such a low amount of cards, like I'd always get the ones that stack on top of each other, and yeah, it was just really good. really satisfying. So now I'm gonna play as this second character, the poison character. I think it is. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, because I've actually been only playing. Was it Ironclad? Is the first one,
Yeah, the poison
and
one's
then
the one
Sounds
I
about
play
right.
a lot.
uh,
It's the same sort of thing. You get into a poison build, and there's like a couple of key cards that like doubles an opponent's poison or something like that.
right.
Right, and then you double stack that, or you upgrade that to a triple, and then you get a couple of those in your, and you're like 3 times 3. You're like 9 timings people on poisons, right? It's just savage.
Yeah.
And so satisfying. Difficult to pull off, right? Sometimes it doesn't happen, it doesn't fall for you, but when it does, it's like, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a go. And then apparently, I think if you go for it 3 times, you get an additional boss, and then you can get a fourth character. Yeah, it's
We're going to
it's
hear about it again next week. No
probably.
doubt about that. Every time I look on, Pilch is
We know a
playing.
certain other person definitely still playing it. So
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
So yeah, it's good. I know somebody asked a question about if we've been playing Monster Train.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody else saw that. I played that before this game, and I stayed with that a little bit, but I don't think I don't know if I appreciated it in the same way. There was a lot more. I don't know. I didn't quite understand about how to build a proper deck to or a deck build to a specific way.
yeah. I think
I will.
that could be exactly right for me too, Dave. Is that it never clicked. I feel like I didn't get the piece of the puzzle that I was supposed to on that one where
Yeah. So like me playing this one, I can quite easily see me going back to that other one, and then like understanding how the cards and the synergies work together, and what I should. You kind of formulate a plan about what you've been dealt early on about how you want to progress and sort of build a stack of cards and sort of work towards a build rather than just sort of going, oh, I'll take this card, or I'll take this card, or I'll do this. And I think that's what I was doing with Monster Train. Is I was just plodding through it, not really understanding, the proper the actual outcomes of my choices. I was just muddling along. Whereas this game, I think, has taught me and use the early cards that you've been dealt to formulate how you want your card deck going forward to work. And if you do get specific cards, depending on when you get very strong cards, do you change your plan? Do you ignore them? Do you go down and sort of double down on what you're doing? Or it's it's good. So, but I think I'll start streaming it just for shits and giggles, really. And it'd be interesting to see if other people join me and sort of give me advice of what I should be doing rather than what I'm doing.
yeah.
But yeah, it's I've been enjoying it, so I'll be playing a bit more than that. I've been playing a bit more Kerbal Space Program. I'm still enjoying that. What have I done?
Don't think I was listening to your podcast from last week. Oh yeah, I had issues with the podcast last week. No, but I was on the podcast last week, wasn't I? It was the week before the one I missed. No, which one did I miss? Something about Vegemite.
You
Was that
missed
last week?
that
you
was
missed
last week.
last week.
Oh, I edited it. Yeah, I wasn't on it. Yeah, Vegemite. Not sure.
What, you like Vegemite?
I'll eat it.
It's fucking disgusting, mate.
Yeah, I don't know if I hate it with the venom you do.
It's no Marmite, that's for sure.
It's not Marmite, no.
It's Vegemite.
Yeah, smelt fucking horrible. That
Anyway,
immediately just put me off.
sorry, but anyway, the point being is I heard you talk about Kerbal Space Program, and I think that's where I finished listening to the podcast. So I don't remember you. what your mission objective was, if you have one right now?
Not really, just progress really. I'm going through career mode, which is I've got a budget that I have to manage, and I have to earn space, not space. I have to earn science to unlock further technologies. So you start sort of very basic, and you do more science in and around Kerbal, the moon, and Nimbus, another one of Kerbal's moons, and then around the other various planetary bodies. And the more science you do, the better equipment that you can get, and so the better equipment allows you to do more science, or build space stations, or better satellites, have space stations, landing modules, actual sort of science, or exploratory research stations on your moons or planets, or things like that. I'm still very early on. I'm still sending Kerbals around the various different moons and stuff. So I'm part of the I've joined the Kerbal Space Program Reddit, and some of the shit that people are doing on there is fucking just incredible. So yeah, I still really want to learn a lot more about that game, and I'm like, yeah, it will take a lot of time. That's another game I do want to stream a bit more of as well. Just because I find it really interesting, and I wonder if other people watching it will either just sit and watch it and see what else somebody's doing, or want to help out and stuff. So.
Well, I think it's probably one of those things where it's interesting to talk about your, like, I think something like Slay the Spire is a good one as well, right? Did you say you were gonna? Oh,
Yeah, I
it's a
want
good
to.
one. It's interesting when you're talking through like your decision
Thought
processes, right?
processes, yeah.
Your thought processes are what people are interested in.
Yeah.
And it helps you to talk. Even if I've noticed it on a couple of the games where I've been talking through my thought processes. I can't remember what I was playing, and it actually helped. Oh, it was Inscription,
Right.
and I felt like it was helping me.
It helps you process what your thoughts are to understand why you're making them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want to do a bit more streaming. I'm actually off on Monday, so I might have a few hours spare on Monday to do some streaming, because I've had a hell of a week. I'm just like, no, don't want to be on Monday. So okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's been a hard week. So, but yeah, that's my my games.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, look, I'm going to push us over the finish line then. Or actually, Dave's going to push us over the finish line, I think, with his slot. Dave, if you don't mind.
I will. So there we go. So thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast, email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on the Discord server. A link is pinned to Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to regularly. Neil, shout out to the chat.
We've had Mark, literally Lethius, Baron von Glower, Lord. Who else have we got in here? Some idiot called Fraser Moo. Sumu, Kev, Howard and Caper popped in. Say hello. Mint Safe was here early, and Joysticks and Chill John Mouse. Thank you all for joining and chatting.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Neil and Dave and Pilch will catch up with you next week. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Until next time. So long.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.